different. This is magnificent, man. And I like this. I enjoyed myself to the fullest, and I can't wait to come back on. I can't wait to see it, see more of the people on here.
And it's also wonderful to hear people talk sanely to each other.
You're doing something like you and I've always talked about, outside the box. And on top of that, entertaining people at the same time. And on top of that, educating people at the same time. Obviously, you can't lose, bro.
Last name Cabrera, first name Ryan. Ryan, welcome to my friend. How are you, man?
Whoa, dude. Yo, if I ever need to find somebody, just in general, I am calling you.
You know, your future has no limits, Avi. You just keep doing what you're doing, my friend, and you're going to be able to write your own ticket.
I mean, yes, pain is inevitable. I mean, there's a reason we have these sensors in our body. I mean, they're warning signs. In other words, when something hurts, obviously something is amiss.
That's the standard, especially on film. When the film, you know, the cameras weigh in on your soul. If you commit to not putting crap out there, you can actually make a difference, certainly for yourself, and maybe something about the soul.
And we're just beginning to unlock and comprehend the true nature of the universe, in my humble opinion. And we still have no definitive proof that life exists outside of our solar system.
And I would ask him to come with me back to early 2023 to save my son's life.
My father passed away. She's an only child. Her mother had passed away. She didn't have any family. And she asked me to walk her down the aisle. That's the part that changed.
That cruel moment of when you realize there is no hope. That tears at me, but it doesn't tear at me anymore because there was hope. I hung on just long enough to come out the other side. And here I am. Look at me, all beautiful and stuff.
But now you're going to bring your garbage and war out into space. Well, we're not going to let that happen.
The high tide's going to come. You're not going to be able to overcome at least what technology has created.
And they were rebuilding that country at a cost.
Their truth is the truth that we imbue in them, to be kind, to be civil.
And I was like, oh my God, I'm not all the names that the kids were calling me on the playground. I was dyslexic. It was a recognition.
Continue to work as hard as you can, because by working, Avi, you will keep yourself busy and get used to the grief. The grief will build up. Two people, two different stories.
It was a life-changing moment because I was no longer allowing myself to be a victim.
Another trio of questions, now more underrated. We have Billy D. Williams, Italian men named Skippy, or unicycle.
I'm sorry, Italian men named Skippy. Put me away, Abby. That's
Archie Bunker, the mountain climber, Ralph Cramden, the yoga instructor, or Don Corleone, the computer repair person.
It's clearly an issue with the hard drive. I'm going to go Don Corleone.
The bed actually looks like a bed. E.G. If you think about it, lasagna is just spaghetti-flavored cake. I don't know. Have we ever thought about this? That the object of golf is to play the least amount of golf. Think about it. That's golf in a nutshell.
Yep. That's true.
Yes.
Yeah. That's true.
That's the object.
Where I went around, I visited all the adults first in the cancer, the Stony Brook University Cancer Center, and then I visited the children. And I would say the adults were at least as enthused and joyful to see Santa.
And I said, Mr. Ventura, I said, I don't know if you remember me. He says, of course, Jacques Rougeau, I remember you, the Rougeau brothers, And when he said that to me, it was like, holy.
I got a chance to get to know Joe Weider. Joe was like a second father to me. He took me under his wing. He introduced me to art. He introduced me to history.
I had a blast. I want to dance with somebody.
There we go.
I'll do it.
I do too right now, guys and gals. And
when you say videotape, I'm gonna say it once again to all Jake's people, all them Braves fans.
Hey, y'all, appreciate y'all. You know I love you and keep rooting for them Braves.
But I was going, Tom, Don, I'm a true fan. Yo, I never watched all of your movies through, Tom, because they scared the crap out of me. Love y'all, man.
Pleasure. Great to meet you. It's great to meet you too, Trent.
Avi, you did a great job.
John Amos.
Man, what an introduction. I hope I can live up to that. God bless you.
Last name McMahon. First name Jim. Welcome, my friend, to the second round reveal show.
Avi, always great to hear your voice, kid, and to hear your intros. You're amazing.
I welcome a power player and businessman. Last name Rosenthal. First name Steve.
Avi, you are unbelievable.
No, please.
That was one of the best introductions I've ever had in my entire life. It was better than my bar mitzvah.
Welcome this man. Last name Davidson. First name Tommy.
Nice. Now, I think that's the best intro I've ever had.
Oh, I appreciate that, my friend.
Grab your mommy. Here's Tommy.
Did you have a nice time tonight in the green room?
I had a great time. I can't tell you how refreshing it is that somebody knows what they're doing.
Avi is a poet, but he doesn't know it, but his feet show it. You're unbelievable.
$15,000, trip for 2 to Greece, winning it all, competitive juices. Are they all there, Joe?
Man, the competitive juices don't stop.
Robert, would you like to win this entire tournament?
You know, all those luminaries and athletes and strongmen notwithstanding, the most dangerous place on this show is between me and that prize. That's all I'm going to say.
You get a chance.
I am here to destroy people, to win, put up the rhymes that make things say that be so kind, and then hit you in the butt, because I'm ready to win this all. It's all about me going to Greece with my wife and my family and having a great time. Let's win this. Let's win this.
Oh, you here to win the whole darn tournament?
I don't play. I just win.
You're chomping at the bit to get in this thing.
Oh yeah, man. I've been telling you, brother. You brought up some names to me, and I was like, I can't wait. I hope they don't see me, because it's gonna be on like a steaming pot of neck bones, baby. And I'm not playing.
First name Joe Smith. Welcome, my friend.
Oh my God, Avi. Where did you get all of that from? Oh my God.
I am expecting a high energy, intense match tonight. With another triple threat match in round 2 of the celebrity tournament, 2 more celebrities will advance to round 3 based on your votes, and 1 will be eliminated. Tonight, sharing the screen, we have pro wrestling legend Marcus Buff Bagwell, college football Hall of Famer Bryant McKinnie, and Atlanta Braves Hall of Famer David Justice. Mr. Bagwell is a fan favorite. He has a lot of passion and a lot of heart. Mr. McKinnie is eager to share his stories, and I can't wait to learn more from him and what he has to say on these topics. And Mr. Justice is all charm and knows how to speak to a crowd. Who will advance? Hard to say because I don't underestimate anybody in this tournament, but my predictions are that Mr. Bagwell and Mr. Justice will advance and Mr. McKinnie will be eliminated.
Damas y caballeros, what is up? It is your favorite Dominican Howard Cujado coming to you live from here in Brooklyn. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, talking about live, talking about energy, talking about passion. You have an amazing matchup coming to you tonight. Who do we have on board? I'm going to tell you right now, 3 powerhouses. We have Atlanta Braves Baseball Hall of Famer David Justice. We have college football Hall of Famer Bryant McKinnie. And we also have the pro wrestling legend himself, Marcus Buff Bagwell. Ladies and gentlemen, these three bulls will be locking horns tonight in a intellectual, psychological, mental, philosophical arena known as round 2 of the celebrity tournament. Now, again, guys, 2 out of the 3 of these bulls will be advancing. Who will that be? That's what we're going to find out tonight, okay? So, I think we all know at this point what David Justice, Marcus Buff Bagwell, and Bryant McKinnie bring to the table. Marcus Buff Bagwell is an amazing storyteller, charismatic, energetic, intelligent, all right? We also know that David Justice is also charismatic, intelligent, an amazing storyteller. His showing in the first round was really beautifully impressive. His story, his journey of coming from very humble beginnings to, you know, going off to the major leagues, and how he connected all that amazing World Series game to this beautiful painting that he described. I mean, just an amazing, amazing story here. So ultimately, guys, I'm gonna go with David Justice being the top vote getter. Right behind him is going to be Marcus Buff Bagwell. Not to take anything away from Bryant McKinnie, but all 3 gentlemen are going to have to bring it and bring it hard, and it's going to be amazing.
Well, here it is, November 2nd, and we have another episode of The Green Room, episode 214 if I'm not mistaken. And man, what a night. We've got B-Mac, Bryant McKinnie, we've got Baseball's David Justice, who I am very familiar with. I judged his round 1 match. And we have Marcus Alexander Buff the Stuff Bagwell, who I faced in round 1. And everybody wants the prediction. People are saying this, people are saying that. I'm going out on a limb. I'm going all in. The number 1 vote getter for this evening. Moving on to round 3, hands down, next to no competition. Buff the Stuff Bagwell. You heard it here, folks. Kelly J. White says, Buff the Stuff Bagwell. So you're going to get there. You're going to be in round 3 with me, Marcus. So just want to let you know, got a little surprise for you. Stay tuned. I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
There are those of us who like to venture to the unexplored, to see the beauty in the strange and unknown. Those of us who go out there with a sense of wonder. It's the magic of risking everything for a dream that nobody sees but you.
Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the shadow of the shade. Yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me, unafraid. God, it matters not how straight the gate, how punishment charged the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. I have to remind myself that some birds aren't meant to be caged. Their feathers are just too bright. And when they fly away, the part of you that knows it was a sin to lock them up does rejoice. Let me tell you about a voice. The one that whispers. It tells me what's right and what's not, when to leave and where to go. It's not Shakespeare. It does not speak in memorable lines. My inner voice always gives it to me straight. Tells me who my real friends are, when to say yes, when to say no. Whether the person sitting next to me is the one I'll be spending the rest of my life with.
You already know that dedication, hard work, and perseverance gives positive results.
Let your instincts guide you.
Your 15 minutes are up. You better start thinking of something else. What else to do? What do I want to do? I was picked a day that I was going to go to the Taxi and Limousine Commission to try and get my license. And the day before I decided to go, I got a call from my agent. Paul Newman is casting, wants to see you. Getting a job is like having money in your pocket. If you got it, you can get it. Strangely enough, so this was in September. By October, I had a TV job, an off-Broadway show. I was directing a play, and I was going to be in January going to do this movie. It was called Harry and Sons. Go figure. What would you do if you weren't an actor? If you didn't make it as an actor, what would you do? I have no idea. I would act somewhere, because I'll die if I don't.
David Tank Abbott and Teddy Long move on officially to round number 3. 2 out of 3 always move on. Teddy and Tank have moved on.
Moving on to round number 3 of the TKN Celebrity Tournament are none other than Richard Klein and Cindy Pickett. They will both be in round number 3.
And also with 20 votes, Mr. Eddie Johnson and Stephen Tobolowsky will move on to round 3 of the TKN Celebrity Tournament. 3, 2, and a 1. With 20 votes, moving on to round number 3 of the TKN Celebrity Tournament. DC Glenn will be in round number 3, guys, of the tournament with 15 votes. Pete Babcock will move on to round 3 of the TKN Celebrity Tournament. Guys and gals, in round number 3 of the TKN Celebrity Tournament, please give it up for B. Brian Blair, Larry Zbyszko, and Miles Avery. Howard, Giselle, let's give it up to them in the back as well. Clinton, are you here to win the entire shebang, my friend?
Of course, nobody gets into a competition to lose.
Peace, are you here to win it all, my friend?
I am absolutely here to win it all. As everyone in this tournament, their resume says they are winners. Well, somebody's got to be the ultimate winner of this tournament.
Hi, I'm Rick Barry, a member of the Basketball Hall of Fame and one of the NBA's top 50 players. And I'm really excited to tell you about my new relationship in the broadcasting world with the new network.
It's TKN, and a young man named Avi Klein has poured his blood, sweat, and tears into creating this new network and assembling an amazing group of individuals to co-host shows with him throughout the network, covering everything you can imagine. He's assembled artists, authors, film entertainers.
Legends from every walk of life who are just bringing their knowledge and their experience and their wisdom, and this is amazing. Like in a day and age when our airwaves are just completely oversaturated with false narratives, with social media futility, with craziness, Avi just is I feel like this is a cosmic convergence of what is most important to him, and he's such a stand-up guy.
Here, but with a very warm heart for Avi and thanking him for all the work he's put into creating the new network. For me, I have just a teeny part of this in terms of having a program that's based on storytelling, where I get to share some of my stories with you.
I can't even imagine how hard Avi Klein works. He tells me he gets 4 hours of sleep a day, and I actually believe that, because Avi is so passionate, he works so hard,
and tune into Avi's network, because there's a lot of jewels that we're going to uncover.
I'm going to be tagging up again with my great friend and tag team partner Avi Klein for Breaking the Ice, which will be just one show out of many that are part of the new network.
He's very respectful, and he really connects with the artists and his audiences, and I felt like this guy's on to something, and I'm proud to be a part of this with him.
Avi, congratulations. I don't know anybody that can talk as much as you. Seriously, I thought I could talk. You are unreal. But you do it with class, understanding, professionalism. You're simply amazing. I told you that when I first met you. And you ran off my autobiography. It basically was a book. It was simply fantastic. And to think that you do that every show.
The thing is, you put out a stage out here, you give us a floor to go on of competition, and everybody can relate to having competition.
I just think it's going to be, a lot of fun for people. I don't think people, there's nothing like this on the air. I don't think really. No, there isn't. I just think it's going to be I'm very interested in how people respond to it, because I know it's going to be interesting, and see if people tune in and stay tuned in, and I really hope they do. And I'm all yours, bro. Let's go out and make this work. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Okay.
Thank you for being you, my friend. I appreciate you and respect you wholeheartedly.
And that goes double for me to you, Avi.
start a little bit differently than I usually do, guys and gals and pals. If I may have your moment, it is Saturday night, and we are going to have one hell of a conversation. There's no doubt about that. You know, they say real knows real and game knows game, right? That's what they say. But there's no fame or acclaim that's worth what life is worth. And I don't talk about my private life ever, unless it's behind the scenes with friends, participants in this tournament, people I've gotten close to. I don't, and I'm not going to start now, at least in a very long-winded way, because this is never about me. It's not about me, as you guys know. I don't ever, in the wrestling, they use the term putting over. I want to put everybody else over because they deserve it. Because the legends in the back are much more than their resumes would suggest, although the resumes are incredible. I mean, they've done things that less than 1% of the population could only dream of. But they're human beings. And we have shared interests. And I've been in my industry, in this film industry, for a long time to know that many of them may not be aching or quaking, but they want to be humanized, and they should be, because they make mistakes just like us. And man, oh man, do they feel just like us? And they learn just like us. So if you can, as sappy as this sounds, and I'd rather be sappy than cynical, I want to tell you that if you're a fan of the Funky Blazers or the rhymes or the topics that I try to conceive every week, it wouldn't have happened without my dad. I owe all to him because my father, who's responsible for me delivering this raspy voice now, he gave me everything and then some. And I don't know if he's going to make it past tonight. That's real talk. Those of you that have seen and witnessed what's been going down earlier today, I appreciate you and love you. I'd rather show you guys the last photo of my dad a month ago when there were better times, and then we'll start, because everyone's ready and we're going to have a fun time. Edutainment, right? We're philosophically fun, no doubt about that. But my dad may not be here, and he's never watched a show because I never wanted him to. But from what I understand, he may be tuning in now. And it may be the last thing he sees on planet Earth. He's over at Presbyterian Hospital in Queens, New York. Guys and gals, this was my dad, a military hero, and his brother, a military hero, a month ago during a family dinner. We all have those. The man to my left is my dad with a shaved head. A strong man, a funny man, a flawed man like all of us because he was a Knick fan. So am I. Breathing some levity to the situation. But, Dad, if you're watching, thank you for teaching me how to be a man. And I'm proud to be your son. Guys and gals and pals, right now, we are ready because that intro, industrial-sized air conditioners at your favorite B&B in Alaska, would be rendered obsolete after witnessing that intro because we're all fired up. That much is a fact. You've all experienced luminary after luminary enter this virtual arena. Indeed, this tournament is stacked. I dubbed this vision of mine edutainment because I place emphasis on entertainment and education. Because on this station, we celebrate those that are passionate about their vocation. And this format is anything but the same old, so I thank you for embracing the innovation and expressing your constant elation when taking in the most star-studded tournament of them all, a place where competitors convey their level of admiration, while we marvel at the information, passion, and perspiration when observing this wide array of talent, because that makes up the population of strong-minded thinkers that enlighten us, which is why I subscribe to conversation, because listening and applying is how we get to our destination. We're all so much closer than we are apart, which is why this show offers a demonstration about what's right about us as a society. So for the new viewers out there who have a fascination, sit back and enjoy as I put a cap on this verbal dissertation. Let's keep doing what we do. Let's realize that our motto isn't some Sherlock Holmes mystery. Teaching history and screenwriting for the very best was one thing, guys and gals, but sharing your history is an honor. That mentor that lives in my heart every day, his name was Richard Donner. So let's sit back and realize what we've witnessed here in this tournament, oh so grand, where 131 Hall of Famers and Hollywood Award winners and nominees own this land as we discover and rediscover our humanity through open dialogue and expand. So be prepared to give a hand to competitors that are about to work their sweat gland, all the while our attention they command. with 15 grand and a 5-day and 5-night trip to Greece on the line, one cannot forget about the pride and the prize. So with that, let's all rise and reprise our roles as educational voyeurs that never chastise or agonize, but rather revel in our beautiful reality without needing a disguise. So here on this network, we're allergic to lies. The bard Shakespeare once said, "It's not in the stars to hold our destiny, but it's in ourselves." So if you love something, don't hate others that do, because doing is the sweet nectar that is most rewarding. Take a moment to breathe, admire your desire to aspire, because if you don't, life will be but a blur. Of this I'm sure, so never hate the flower for starting out as a seed. Long distance running is essential. It's not a stampede, so don't run anyone over on your way to the top. Focus on yourself and never forget to cheer lead. Root for your loved ones and lift people up. This human fortune cookie hopes that we've all agreed that positivity is something we can never concede. So guys and gals, our first participant, he's ready to go. A smile is the light in your window, and that tells others that there is caring. Walt Whitman said, "I'm the friend of all, comrade of all who shake hands and welcome all who bring respect." And the above rings true when describing our first participant tonight. Helping others has been important to him from a young age. He's a class act, and he realizes that without a sense of caring, there could be no sense of community. So guys and gals and pals, I see a lot of you in the comment section waiting for him. This is Mr. Bryant McKinnie.
Practice any art, music, singing, dancing, acting, drawing, painting, sculpting, poetry, fiction, essays, reportage, no matter how well or badly, not to get money and fame, but to experience becoming. Find out what's inside you to make your soul grow. Seriously, I mean starting right now. Do art and do it for the rest of your lives. You will find that you have already been gloriously rewarded for your poem. You have experienced becoming, learned a lot about what's inside you, and you have made your soul grow.
They had on my life, playing in the league and the NFL, your mental health is very important. And once I retired, I realized there's a lot of people who go through a depression period of not knowing how to identify themselves when they're making that transition of being an athlete. And me, I started late. So when I got a scholarship to University of Miami, I reminded her, I said, "Remember you said I wasn't gonna like you." That went on to, when I became the Allen Trophy winner and won the national championship, my grandma was there, and I reminded her, remember you said I wasn't gonna like you, Grandma, all the way to, being into the top 10 of the draft and her being in New York with me, and I constantly just remind her all the way to winning the Super Bowl. And so she was my driving force in the fact that I didn't ever allow or agree with the message of, well, you're not gonna like it, just go back to basketball. And I used that to, propel me to go even further in my career. I feel like that was my greatest win.
Guys and gals and pals, already becoming a fast friend. To know him, again, he stands for something. That's what this network's all about, is making sure that we put the best version of ourselves out there and lift people up. That's what Bryant does. So guys and gals and pals, let's bring in right now Bryant McKinnie. He was born and raised in Woodbury, New Jersey, and was a fan of Thundercats, He-Man, the Smurfs, and the MC Hammer cartoon. The animated Hammer had shoes that danced. How could one miss an airing of that Saturday afternoon cartoon? The only child growing up in a single-parent household, he watched his mother Michelle work 2 jobs and 3 during the holidays to ensure he had what he needed. The expectations any child has of their parents is something that she exceeded. He'd visualize any realism of life. In actuality, he did what he loved and wasn't bound to the salary. He'd thrive in prime time. All one has to do is look at his material. He'd eat up his opponents like you and I eat cereal. In his presence, his opponents' feet would feel soggy, as his skills were ever present like Mr. Miyagi. When it's foggy, the other team should have stayed in their hotel lobby, because winning is his thing. It isn't merely a hobby. Like my 42-1 record battling other comers and lyrics straight up shoddy. He took piano lessons as his mom bought him a Casio keyboard because music was something he never ignored. Put that on a billboard and don't be floored. And you're now privy to the fact that music is something he adored while he was winning award after award. He stayed grounded like a multimillionaire driving a Ford. He started playing basketball while in the 3rd grade, and soon the other kids prayed, hoping the game would be delayed because he would dominate any game that he played. He didn't start playing until the 9th grade, partially due to his size. Many saw his potential and kept their eyes on what they deemed a prize, as he had the skills to guide any franchise as his limitations surpassed the skies. He'd already surpassed 6 feet and 200 pounds by the time he made the Woodbury High football team as a defensive lineman at the age of 13 in 1993, as his skill set was sharper than any expert car dealer. He flourished under head coach Jim Boyd and assistant Zach Valentine, a former Pittsburgh Steeler. He also competed for the Thundering Herds track team, running faster than a certain Spider-Man named Peter, along with throwing the shot and discus as well as running the 400-meter. Doing the 452 seconds wasn't all, as he also wrestled and could have easily gotten a basketball scholarship. He accomplished so much that any researcher must take the time and never hurry nor skip. If that was enough, he played the bass drum in the band, was involved in the choir, and even took step aerobics with his mom. Some of his former teammates might be surprised to know that he was also king of his high school prom. When he was younger, he was too big to play with youngsters his age and too young to play with youngsters his size. By age 10, he wore a size 10 shoe. By age 15, he was 6'5". As mentioned above, every sport or activity that he chose, he wouldn't merely survive, but also excel and thrive. In his junior year, he was 6'6", a 6'6" defensive end. But when it came to his height, did you notice a trend? By his senior year, he had grown 2 more inches. He made 56 tackles and had 13 sacks and started getting attention from some of the best schools. The select few that weren't watching were nothing more than a bunch of damn fools. He played 2 seasons for Lackawanna College in Scranton, and during his time with the Falcons, he packed on 70 pounds and switched from the defensive line to the offensive line. He was named captain and led the team to a pair of conference championships, which is more than just fine, as his game was like gold. Man, did it shine. His coach at Lackawanna was Mark Duda, a former defensive tackle with the St. Louis Cardinals who played college football at Maryland and who had the following to say, which are facts, not merely something with surmise, as he saw it with his own eyes. When speaking of our next participant, he said he could block people with one hand, block a guy, jump over another. Impossible things for someone that size. He started all 22 games during his 2 seasons at Lackawanna, never allowing a sack. So Coach Duda contacted Miami. Hell, I haven't even covered his pro career or the fact that he's a 3-time nominated Grammy. He received a scholarship to the University of Miami and played on the 2001 Miami Hurricanes team that won the national championship as they defeated Nebraska in the Rose Bowl. He was sure as a thing as Pele or Maradona on the field kicking a goal. He was recognized as an All-American twice, was voted Sports Illustrated Player of the Year, graduated summa cum laude with a degree in psychology from UM, and won the coveted Outland Trophy. He was one of my cousin's favorites. Big shout in heaven to cousin Sophie. Accolades time? Most certainly, so let me take a pause with these rhymes. This man is a 2-time first-team All-American, 2-time first-team All-Big East, Outland Trophy, Jim Parker Award, 8th overall in voting for the Heisman Trophy in 2001, CNN Sports Illustrated Player of the Year also in 2001, national champion, of course, in 2001 with the Miami Hurricanes, Pro Bowl selection, 2009. AFC champion with the Baltimore Ravens. Super Bowl champion with the Baltimore Ravens. Inducted to the University of Miami Sports Hall of Fame in 2012. Before screenwriting professionally, teaching U.S. history was my passion, and it's no mystery how I respect anything attached to the word philanthropy. This man helps others. His foundation placed emphasis on mental health, as peace of mind is the ultimate wealth. He helps those in need as an amazing speaker. His heart is big and far surpasses the size of his massive sneaker. He's a Grammy-nominated co-executive producer and was part of the Players Choir, made up entirely of current and former NFL players, which competed last year on America's Got Talent. How many times has he been nominated for a Grammy? Once? Twice? Nope. Try 3. He ushers in the joy as his presence provides glee. I think we can all agree that he can excel in any environment like a mid-'80s Crocodile Dundee. They know his name from Tennessee to Maui, so put your hands together for a kind, talented human being. First name, Bryant. Last name, McKinnie. Welcome to round 2 of the tournament, my friend.
Listen, I need those lyrics. But I want to first say, I want to keep you and your family in prayers. Because I heard you discuss your dad and everything. So I just wanted to say that, make sure you have my prayers. But
thank you.
Back to your rhyme. I really like those rhymes. We got to sign you up.
Well, you deserve every bit of it, my friend. And again, you know, when I think of a jack of all trades, that would be you. You focus on so many things, but really, I would say the top priority in your life is to build people up. Would you agree?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I just always go back to like just the childhood that I came from and having a single parent, and she put in a lot of work trying to raise me. And as you can tell, I was an expensive child. My shoe size one my age every year. So every year you had to buy new clothes, new things. So it was like my mom had to work very hard. So having somebody like me who I try to help in the community a lot, to give those families a helping hand by doing toy drives, Thanksgiving, back to school, things like that, to, you know, put work back out in the community to help some of these parents. So I do that because I know what my mom went through raising me.
I love that. I love that. And you know what, man? At the end of the day, I know that we have 131 Hall of Famers from sports, wrestling, music, not to mention Oscar, Grammy, Tony, Emmy, Golden Globe, AMA award winners and nominees. But Brian, are you here to win the entire thing, my friend?
Absolutely. Anything else is uncivilized.
I love that. I love that. Round two, my friend, you're in it. I'll put you backstage momentarily and bring in our second participant.
Okay.
Mr. Bryant McKinnie. He's a class act, guys and gals. There's no doubt about that. He's here to win. I want to bring in our second participant right now. We are about to kick things off, guys and gals and pals. A smile, they say, is a light in your window that tells others that there's a caring, sharing person inside. Legendary poet Walt Whitman said, I am, again, the friend of all, comrade of all who shake hands and welcome all who bring respect. Pressure's great because we get to experience it. The two most powerful warriors are patience and time. Maybe you shouldn't teach them to procrastinate and become complacent, because patience and time can work for you. My next guest, guys and gals, is not only talent personified, but class personified. In a world filled with smiles that fall short of being considered authentic and miserable, guys and gals, this man, my guest, is a breath of fresh air. He's as honest as they come. He's direct, he's positive, he's sincere, he embraces life to the fullest, and he proves always that the comeback is always greater than the setback. There's no doubt about that. Guys and gals, please take a look at Mr. Marcus Buff Bagwell.
As soon as I make contact, and you know, it just went deep. You know, I know it. And can't wait to get to the dugout to start celebrating. That's why I run around the bases so fast. Atlanta Braves, you know, everything I preach is team, because that's how I really feel. I feel like the only way we win out there on that field is because our team wins. You know, we do it all together. And it was amazing, because I think what it is I carry a confidence with me when I'm on the field. But I feel like that's the only way I can do well.
Tyreek told me every year is different. And that's right, every year is different. So I went into every year looking at it like it's different. But I have to keep pushing, keep improving, have a goal, try to be better, because I know, man, if I play well, we got a good chance of winning. Because I was one of those players that could carry a team. When I'm hot, I'm just not hitting singles. I'm not a singles hitter when I'm hot. When I'm hot, I'm doubles and home runs.
Almost ask them if they want to be involved just to get their ideas, but really they're going to do what they want to do anyway. But
the debate is very simple. Rocky's all from 1, 2, 3, 4 are the best movies in the entire world. It's winner. How at the end, how he made, you know, the boxing match about two countries. He made, if he can get along with Drago, then why can't two countries get along?
And then I took a chance at pro wrestling. Everybody laughed at me. Everybody knew I was doing the wrong thing, but I believed in it. I believed in it.
And over the last 3 years, I believe in him as a marvelous human being who, again, to know him is to know how authentic and genuine he is. A man of his word, doesn't mince any of them. When he speaks, he means it. I cannot wait to be able to shake his hand, break bread with him, because he's class act, and that comes from the heart. With no question about that. Guys and gals and pals, our second participant can light up a room that is so dark you can't even see. He places emphasis on the rebound, the comeback, and all things recovery. He also happens to be an incredible co-host. He delivers every time like a 1970s Billy Crystal doing his thing on a D. Martin roast. He's a man that is universally known from Indianapolis to Minneapolis, from Maine to Spain, from Cuba to Aruba, from Armenia to Slovenia, from Alaska to Nebraska, from Angola to Pensacola, from Arizona to Barcelona, from Altoona to Laguna, from Casablanca to Sri Lanka, from Japan to the Sudan, from Greece, see what I did there to Nice, from China, North Carolina, from Nepal to Senegal. He wants to win the 15 grand by being the last man standing. The man has commercial value. He knows all about branding. He makes his fans smile by being all that more. He certainly is the stuff. Our organic conversations between two well-traveled individuals over here is void of any fluff. We always cover a wide array of topics as you welcome us to your living room. Lots of smiles, lots of honesty, and to think we aren't even using Zoom. This man is an incredible entertainer as he's humble and honest, a true class act. Spend 120 minutes with him, it'll feel like 10. That much is a fact. So sit back and enjoy. You've entered, guys and gals, no doubt a state of bliss as I welcome the one and only legend of a human being and talent. Last name Bagwell, first name Marcus. Welcome to round two, my friend.
What's up, man? What's up?
I appreciate having you here, man. How you doing?
Wow. Well, first off, again, man, the father thing. I've never seen you get a loss of words. A loss of words is something you do not ever have. But I recently have lost my father October 12th this year. I lost my dad.
So sorry, Mark.
So yeah, thank you. But again, heart goes out to you. I hope, death to me is a celebration of life. I really think that if you believe in, Jesus Christ, like I do, then there's, he's at a better place. And I mean, I believe that full-heartedly. So, for my father, it was a celebration of his life. He was an NHRA Hall of Famer. He was a great father. And your father obviously did a wonderful job with you. I mean, look how you cried when you talk about him. So, that's powerful. That's celebration of life. So, I hope the best for him, but even if it's not the best thing in the end, it'll be a celebration of life.
That means a lot. And coming from you, it really does, my friend, because I appreciate all the conversations we've had and we'll still have. You mean a lot to a lot of people. You really do, man. And I want you to take your roses because, again, I mentioned how the comeback's stronger than the setback. At the end of the day, you are inspiring people every day that message me and say, hey, you know what? We loved Buff Bagwell, but we're really inspired by Marcus Bagwell. When that hits, what do you think when you hear that?
I just thought about this yesterday. It makes me think that wrestling wasn't what God brought me here for. As hard as that is for me to wrap my head around, I really believe that even though it fits so perfect and the Buff name was, oh my God, that's a perfect name. And the body and the attitude, and he meant to be a all of those things.
Sure.
I really believe were setting me up to be a messenger for God, to have a platform to explain, what got me here and to do something else more than just be a pro wrestler. This next step in life is going to be legendary.
I would agree. And I love your recovery talk. I love how you always bring it. And again, at the end of the day, you've inspired a lot of people through different generations. Some suits and ties who now, of course, are my bosses. They love Marcus Buff Bagwell. But guys and gals and pals, you can also meet Marcus Bagwell tonight, which is great. Marcus, you are considered the favorite to win the whole thing by a lot, by many viewers out here, the masses, if you will, are here to win the 15 grand and the entire trip to Greece.
I've never entered anything not wanting to win it for sure. And I'm not sure I've ever entered anything that I didn't win. So I'm definitely trying to win. And if I lose, it'll be the first time ever. So I'm trying to keep that record 100%.
I love that. Any words about the Kelly White promo? We heard Kelly White's thoughts earlier.
Man, I can't wait to talk to you a little bit about this. I mean, This guy has got it out for me, bro. Is he in round 3, really?
So, Kelly, I just want to explain to the viewers this as well. You see Kelly White's face. Do you feel like you can't get rid of Kelly White no matter what?
As soon as I saw him, I said, well, this guy's definitely not going to vote for me to predict me to win tonight. And then he predicts me to win. And then he comes back with but I've got something for you. I mean, I don't know what this guy has. He's got it in for me, bro. I'm not scared to give anybody my home address. I would be scared to give him my home address.
I'll tell you what, my friend, there was quite the matchup you had with Mr. Kelly White. You're in round number 2, looking to get into round number 3. There's no doubt, guys, that Marcus Buff Bagwell is here to win. I will put you backstage momentarily, my friend.
Okay, buddy.
Guys, again, Marcus Buff Bagwell, a great, great talent, a man who's a multi-sport athlete who's excelled, not just in pro wrestling, but as a human being. Let me tell you something. As great as his resume is, can't light a fire under what this guy has done to people and light a fire under their you-know-what, because he brings it every single time. He speaks recovery, and guys and gals, he practices it. This man is one solid human being. Appreciate him a ton. Guys and gals and pals, I'm bringing in our third participant right now. Right now, guys and gals, I want to bring up the following quote because I feel like it epitomizes this very man. The word greatness. I think greatness can transcend any era. So for all of those who go, LeBron, Michael, LeBron, hey, greatness transcends any era. Our third participant has elevated his level of greatness to improbable heights. And the excellency, if his art, is consistency. It's intensity. It's the capability of making all things improbable evaporate. Not many of us know what we're made of until we face seemingly insurmountable odds when we are at our best, in our prime. This man has done that. And he's conquered each and every one of them in some of the most high-stakes situations known to any athlete. But he's much more than that. He's a family man. He's a father. He's a man that has his priorities straight. This man, guys and gals, is one solid human being. Please take a look at David Justice.
It just the positivity, the winner in me, the hero in me, the champion in me seeked out what I could do, and I could reach out and found. In that desperate time, I reached out and found I could go to schools like Christopher Reeves.
Right.
And as I was saying that,
Sure.
and Danny said, "Your left hand's moving."
Wow.
And I said, what? So at that stage, again, there's not a memo that God sends you saying, oh, you're not paralyzed anymore. You don't know. You're still in the fight. It's still a fight you're going into, bro. You're a winner. You succeed. You get ready for it. And when I got on tape, the doctor said, sit up. And I did, and continued my career as Buff Bagwell. There's many tests along the way where the spotlight is taken off of you. It's about what you do when the spotlight is on.
You know, none of us get anywhere. We know this. None of us get anywhere without the help of someone. And I've had many people that you will hear me give a shout out to that helped me along the way. And I like to keep their names because a few of them have passed on, and I want to always honor them when I tell my story. We go on to the World Series. We beat the heck out of the Mets 4-1. We win the Subway Series. We win the World Series. Now, remember I told you the moon casting the shadow on the pond? That's literally where my mind was in the middle of all that chaos. That's how calm my mind was. That's literally what I saw in my mind when it was 3 balls and 1 strike. And I tell people all the time, I don't even fish.
There you go. There you have it from Mr. David Justice, guys and gals and pals. And I want to bring him in right now. If you noticed, quite the homage, Mr. Buff Bagwell, Marcus Buff Bagwell, with some great narrations. Again, words of encouragement that he's spoken in the past, set to the David Justice promo pack, and then David Justice and his great words set to Marcus Buff Bagwell's promo pack. James Earl Jones, of course, speaking about Bryant McKinnie, of course. Those words epitomize these 3. Even if they weren't directly mentioned to those 3, they epitomize those 3. If you're going to vote, guys and gals, wait till after topic 1. No bias. Vote for who you think resonated most with you. Guys and gals and pals, here we go. Our third and final participant right now before we kick things off. Nothing wrong with a little pomp and circumstance before a whole lot of substance. Guys and gals and pals. Our third participant comes from Cincinnati, and the single most important person he had growing up was his mother, Nettie. Even after games, when one is usually tired and sweaty, she'd get him on the phone and say, I love you 1,000 times. Those are the moments that are truly celebration, minus the confetti. Years later, guys and gals in the pros, both she and Father Ed would cheer, reminding him to concentrate. Something he had set in his sights since he was a boy playing football in autumn and basketball in the winter, and that word is fate. He hit the school books, made good grades, and went to sleep at a decent time. His mom worked hard as a housekeeper and catered dinners and parties when he was younger during her prime. His mom's selfless devotion to him was absolute, as she showered him with gifts such as sporting goods, bicycles, and shoes. He never felt the struggle because she didn't want to burden him. That is something she would refuse. To pay homage to his mother, he had a large tattoo applied to his upper arm, complete with her name, a cross, some roses, and a cloud. Sure, there was the roar of the crowd, but everything worthwhile was knowing that she was proud. At age 12, he enrolled at Covington Latin School, and Father Ed was the headmaster as well as the basketball coach. This school was not for the weak. Everyone was smart, and he definitely had the right approach. His excellent academic record made him a prime candidate for which requires all students to skip the 7th and 8th grades. As a 13-year-old sophomore, his schedule was insane. Biology, computer science, history. This right now, guys and gals, his school, even reading this, I'd rather take a bath with some gators at the Everglades. He took Latin, German, chemistry, computer science, biology, history, English. As a fellow academic, I must ask the word how. When he was playing basketball, it only took him a few minutes for the coaches to go wow. As a senior, he averaged 26 points a game on the basketball court, but something kept him away from all the college recruiters, the fact that he was only 15 years old. More than one coach told him that he was gold, and that if he stayed 2 more years, he'd be the best to come out. Guys and gals, more than one coach told him that. Kentucky was where they told him he'd be the best to ever come out of Kentucky. That, guys and gals, is something truly to behold. His senior year, he made the Catholic All-America high school basketball team. Success through hard work and discipline was not merely a dream for him. It was a reoccurring theme. As a sophomore, he quickly established himself as the team's most forbidding hitter. He already played like a pro and wouldn't jitter, and scouts came out in droves. At age 18, he was already a college junior. Such dedication is never found in a quitter. Despite the praise to fill his calendar, he worked at a number of positions, such as driving an airport shuttle bus at the University Hospital of Cincinnati, or as an orderly. The Atlanta Braves drafted him first as a first baseman, but at his first practice, he showed off his arm by throwing one heater after another to third base. He was killing the guy, knocking him down before going center field. Such was his wicked pace. In May of 1990, he was playing in his first major league season, and within a few months, the man had 50 RBIs and 20 home runs. He was also playing against the very best in a competitive era and was taking down all the big guns. Right off the bat, no pun intended, Braves manager Bobby Cox noticed his swing was something real smooth. His fans sat back and watched in awe as his unbelievable talents and gifts helped him relax and soothe. Late in the summer of 92, he went on a hitting tear. He became the first Brave since Bob Horner and Dale Murphy to do something quite rare. He hit more than 20 home runs in each of his first 3 full major league seasons, and all opponents had to beware. He was the 1990 National League Rookie of the Year and a 40 home run hitter in 1993. He had many moments of glee, and soon he would have another huge moment of sports immortality, the 1995 World Series. As big as it gets, the lefty swinger led off against lefty throwing Poole. In the bottom of the 6th, took a 1-1 fastball up and in and slapped it over the wall in right center field for a home run. Cleveland was done as the ball crashed off the back wall next to the United States Postal Service sign at Fulton County Stadium, as he was the hero that made sure his team won. 51,875 erupted in cheers. Many were left in tears. He continued to excel in Cleveland until 2000, when the Indians dealt him in late June to the World Series-bound New York Yankees. He hit 305, 391, 585 with 20 homers in 78 games with New York, in a city that's tough to please. He homered 3 more times in the postseason, including twice with 8 RBIs in an ALCS win over the Seattle Mariners, earning MVP honors. Took home another World Series ring after the Yankees knocked off the Mets in 5 games. He got back to the World Series with the Yankees in 2001 and cemented himself as one of the greatest names, as he played and excelled in some of the biggest games. From 91 until his career ended in 2002, he never missed a postseason except for 94. So for those keeping score, he played in 112 postseason games, including 36 in 6 World Series. But wait, there's more, as he won 2 titles, one with the Braves and the other with the Yankees. And at its core, he's a man that has too many, guys and gals, has been to very many people, been a mentor. I respect him for what he stands for. Some accolades: 1990 MLB Player of the Month Award, 1990 Rookie of the Year Award, MLB in 91 Player of the Month Award, 91 MLB Player of the Month Award again, 93 the Silver Slugger Award, 97 Comeback Player of the Year Award, Comeback Player of the Year Award in 97, guys and gals, ALCS Most Valuable Player in 2000, Atlanta Braves Hall of Famer 2007, former ESPN and Yes commentator. So without further ado, you're all about to enter a state of bliss, and I'd be remiss if I didn't remind you to grab your dad, mom, brother, and sis as I welcome in one of the all-time greats, a friend and a gem of a human being. First name David, last name Justice. Welcome, my friend, to round 2 of the Celebrity Tournament.
Hey, Avi, how you doing, man? Hey, thanks for the shout out for my mom, man. I lost my mom 18 years ago, bro, and it's never easy. And again, man, like the other fellas said, man, sorry about your dad, brother. I know it's part of life, but that's not something that none of us ever want to see and feel. And unfortunately, I've been there already, man. So you'll be fine, man. You just have all the memories of all the things that you and your pops did. And, you know, you'll keep them alive just like I try to keep my mom alive.
It means a lot to me, man. And I love what you said before when the show started. I'm going to keep that with me because that meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
I never thought about that. And I wanted to give you the respect by processing it. And I'm like, yeah, that resonates with me. So thank you for that. It means a lot, man. David, I got to tell you, man, again, when we're looking at Marcus Buff Bagwell, Bryant McKinnie, very accomplished human beings. They're giving back so much. So do you. This field has so many luminaries. Many people already chanting your name, Mr. David Justice. They remember you in round number 1 against Robert Burke, who still asked me about you, and Jake Hager, who still asked me about you. You make quite the impression because, man, authenticity is something you can't fake. Authenticity is something you cannot fake, and you are the real deal. Are you here to win the entire tournament, my friend?
Oh, yeah. You know that. I mean, like I told you, man, that's all I do is win championships. So, you know, this is no different, man. But I got a lot of respect for the guys, man. I love all the guys that are participating in this. And, you know, whoever wins in the end, I hope they have a great time. I'm sure they will. And but you know, it's great to see all these guys on here, man, trying to win this. I'm happy to
I love it. Absolutely. And you know, guys and gals, right now, you're going to be seeing Bryant McKinnie on the screen with Mr. David Justice. You're going to be seeing Marcus Buff Bagwell right now on the screen with Bryant McKinnie and David Justice. Hello, guys. Welcome to Green Room officially.
What up?
All right.
We got this. We got this right here, guys. Topic number 1. We're going to get things started with topic number 1. I do. Look at this. This is, I guess I'm looking at this at the runtime. Is this 60 seconds? Guys, we have some picks from somebody who's been making some predictions lately rather flawlessly.
Hey guys, this is your boy Stevie Ray here, giving my latest prediction on the TKN Celebrity Tournament. And this week's guest is my boy, and I know him very well, Mr. Marcus Bagwell, pro wrestler extraordinaire. Been in the ring with him many times. And College Football Hall of Famer, Mr. Bryant McKinnie. Don't know him very well, but I've looked him up. Man's got credentials. Last but not least, Atlanta Braves Hall of Famer, David Justice. Yeah, he can hit the ball, but can he hit things out of the park in this tournament? And my prediction is the two guys that are going to move forward are Mr. Marcus Bagwell and Mr. David Justice. I could be wrong, but I really don't think I am, because that's what I do.
WWE Hall of Famer,
Man,
Mr.
y'all just firing up Brian. Y'all, hey, Brian.
Oh, you already know what it is.
Hey, now y'all making me mad.
Hey,
who we got to roll up on, man?
I'm about to say, who's driving the car to go kill everybody? Because we got to kill some people.
Now, man, who we got to man, I'm tired of this disrespect, Avi.
What's happening?
Right.
I don't want to hear one more prediction of somebody that tell us that B ain't gonna make it.
I clicked the play button. That's all I do is clicking the play button.
Wow!
I didn't make no predictions. No predictions. Guys, that's Stevie Ray and his predictions. We got some of your predictions. We played them earlier. We'll play a couple more after topic number 1. But right now, guys and gals, topic number 1 will soon be one and done. Let's get into it, guys and gals. Sometimes that's how the old mop flaps. Topic number 1, guys, is something I call brutal. Because we all know, topical, yes. We're not going to divide. The talking heads will divide. We're not going to divide here or conquer. We're going to have a nice conversation about something that isn't political, but something that definitely is important. At the time of his death in 1940, there was a major general. His name was Smedley Butler, and he was the most decorated Marine in U.S. history. But in the last decade of his life, he became an outspoken critic of U.S. wars and imperialism. He saw firsthand the profit motive behind war. He had some words in his 1935 seminal work, War is a Racket. War is a racket, he said. It's always been. He said it's possibly the oldest, easily the most profitable, surely the most vicious. It's the only one in which the profits are reckoned in dollars and the losses in lives. So Americans overwhelmingly oppose the U.S.-led foreign wars. And, of course, they also oppose the colossal debts incurred by them. Would the decrease, is my question, in military spending send the wrong message to our global enemies? So the question itself I have for David and for Brian and Mr. Bagwell, starting with David, whenever you're ready, good sir. And guys, rebuttals are optional here. If Marcus Bagwell wants to rebut David Justice, all he has to do when David is speaking is lift up the index finger. I'll pop in and make it official. Brian could do the same when David is speaking. And of course, the same will go on and on with the other participants as well. The question for David Justice, who's going to start this thing off, is should the U.S. reduce its military budget? And if it does so, David, Would the consequences overshadow the benefits of such a decision? The floor is yours whenever you're ready to go, good sir.
Okay, so first of all, let me say this. I didn't grow up in a military family. Okay. So everything I have to say is based off of just how I feel about our military, what I've read, and just from conversations from my buddies that are in the military. I don't believe that we should ever think about reducing our military budget. If you look back in history, countries there's always been fighting. Okay. If this country over here thought that, hey man, we can go get them over there, they'll come get you. I mean, you look at Russia and Ukraine right now. Okay, Russia is rolling up on Ukraine because they feel like we can get them. See, we the United States, we always been a superpower. So we got to stay ahead of the game because you got China, you got Russia, who I consider the other two big boys. That these are the two that you got to stay with, stay ahead of. There's a reason why don't nobody ever really come over here and mess with us since, Pearl Harbor. We're not the ones you coming to mess with when it comes to military power. I think we need to definitely continue to
Mr. Justice, we do have a mic issue. Are you guys able to hear David?
No.
Okay. No, not a problem. Take your time. There's definitely no clock here, my friend. If you want to refresh, that might work. Yeah, not a problem at all. I'll read some comments from now to Bryant and to
Yeah, just take your time, David, because you're doing great and all that. Just take your time. Don't panic. Just take your time and get the phone back.
No doubt about it. Mr.
Can you
David
hear
Justice? Yes, sir.
You can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So did you hear? So did you not hear anything I said?
Everything. China, Russia out. They're gonna come get us if we don't keep military up. You're right on the mark. So just
Yeah. See, I feel like we are a superpower. I think one of the reasons why nobody tries to come mess with us is because they know we got all the smoke you want. Okay. And I think that's important. And if you look at the history of the world, we live in a very violent and aggressive world. Like I said, look at Russia. Russia looked at Ukraine and said, I think I can get that ass. I think I can whoop you. So I'm gonna come over here and take your stuff. The countries have been taken from other countries since the beginning of time. So the last thing that I would ever think that we should do is reduce our military budget. It's just like an equipment manager. Let me shout out to my boy Ted Walsh with Cleveland. Your equipment manager knows, in baseball, we deal with a lot of spikes, batting gloves. We deal with a lot of, uniforms. And our equipment manager, he has a good feel of what a team needs for the whole season. This is his job. This is what he's been doing. Teddy came over to us from the San Francisco 49ers. And then when he left Cleveland, he went on over to Seattle, the Mariners. But this was his job to know what we needed. When I think about our military budget, if there's any changes I think you guys we need to have is we need to reduce unnecessary spending. It's the unnecessary spending. So I believe war has always had a profit aspect to it. Always has had a profit aspect to it. Like the guy said from 1938, okay, that he noticed. It's always been that way. You look at the Iraq War. It was reported now. You got to remember, Halliburton took a lot of heat. I don't know if you guys remember that back then, because at one point, Dick Cheney, who at one point was the Secretary of Defense, then he became chairman and CEO of Halliburton around 95 to 2000. And then now he becomes the vice president. And leading to the war, all of a sudden, Halliburton, they get a $7 billion contract from the government. And they didn't bid against nobody. They just got it. So when you start talking about the military budget and what we need to do, should we decrease it, elevate it? I think we should always keep it at the top. But there has to be, fellas, there's got to be a board.
Now, I think the Department of Defense are the ones who oversee the military budget and all that. Now, this would be, in my mind, very simple, because I truly believe that we have the smartest of the smart. We got the smartest economists. We got the smartest mathematicians. Somebody in the Department of Defense who oversees the military budget should know exactly what we need every year for this budget. That's what they do. Okay? So you ask yourself, then how does $9 billion go missing in Iraq? If you're overseeing the budget and you got a group overseeing the budget, how does $9 billion go missing? And nobody ever found it. Nobody ever found it. Okay? It was reported that Halliburton gained $39.5 billion in federal contracts related to the Iraq War. Okay? This was reported. $9 billion lost. And then there were other contractors that started saying, well, wait a minute. Hold on a second. A Benatine greenhouse, I think that's the name. Say, well, wait a minute. Hold on a second. It appears that Halliburton is getting special treatment. This was a guy, 20 years experience in construction. They got demoted. So basically what was happening was, if you got something to say about this money, oh, we're going to demote you. Now look what else happened. Because I looked this up. All of a sudden, the U.S. courts got involved. And they issued a gag order that prevented the prosecution or the defense from discussing the allegations. The orders applied to court cases, 70 court cases against some of the top U.S. contractors. Nothing. It went away. Okay? So the issue, in my opinion, is not the military spending as it relates to what we need as a country in order for us to stay ahead of these other countries that, if they catch us slipping, don't think they won't come and try to get us too. We just ain't never been caught slipping because we stay on top of our game in the United States. This is what we do. So I'm a huge proponent of keeping the military budget at an amount that is necessary for us to keep developing all the great military slick stuff that we have. That, like I told you, I'm not a military guy, so I don't know about it, but I know we got a lot of slick stuff that protects this country, protects the way we can live in this country. All right. And any reduction of that, I don't think it would be a good thing. Got to remember, the USA is the world's largest weapons manufacturer and exporter. So there's a lot of jobs involved with, where we are when it comes to our military budget. A lot of companies, are making a lot of money off of it. But and I'm going to sum it up like this. It's the potential corruption aspect at the top that I believe, fellas, it's going to always be there. Because when the guys at the top are making all the decisions, they can make everything go away. War has always been for profit. There's always been a profit aspect to wars. And I don't think that'll ever change. Because when they want to lose $9 billion, who going to say something about it? Who going to say something about it? And if you're in a position to say something about it, like this Benatine greenhouse, they just demote you and get you on up out of there. See? So that would be my answer. I truly believe that we should do all we can to keep protecting our country and continue to be a superpower that we are at the military level.
Appreciate that, Mr. Justice. Guys and gals and pals, remember, do not vote officially until Bryant McKinnie and Marcus Bagwell also delve deeply into this first topic. We're going to have a lot of fun, but we're also going to learn, hence the word edutainment. You marry the word entertainment, education. Hopefully that's what you get here. But guys, I am very happy to say this. It sounds braggadocious, but we're moving on up here with TKN. We're glad that in 9 months already, 67,000 subscribers. But even more importantly, there's a lot of belief in what we're doing when it comes to the higher-ups in suits. So keep doing what you're doing, but also make sure you give it up to David Justice, Brian B-Mac McKinney, Marcus Buff Bagwell. They're here on a Saturday night. They're doing it live. They're in your living room, and guys and gals, they're tackling topics here that mean something. That means something. So again, I have a quick question for David, and I'm going to kick it over to Marcus Buff Bagwell, then Bryant B. McKinnie with the same question. Everyone gets the same question. David, I got a question for you. I feel like the old history teacher nerd in me has to bring this up. The Department of Defense in 1962, it was a banner year. The Cuban Missile Crisis, October of 1962. Robert McNamara. There was, of course, the Red Scare that was being brought up. There was a lot going on because there was a lot of going on in terms of responding to other countries, such as Cuba, who geographically speaking wanted to make sure, thanks to the Soviets, that they were in proximity of us in case World War III was imminent. And it was. We were close to it in October 1962. Do you feel, without being long-winded, do you feel as if, when it comes to military funding, your opinion, is it more of a response to other countries progressing in the area of military funding? Do we increase our military funding because we're responding to other nations that are doing the same thing?
No, I think we increase our spending again to make sure that we are on par, if not ahead of the world. That's how you stay a superpower. That's how you, because by us being a superpower, okay, it gives us a lot of access and control around the world. Okay. Now, the one that I like to believe about the United States is that we are the type of country that want to spread democracy around the world. You have a better chance of spreading it if you can make moves because you're in power. So I believe that it's not so much that you have to look and see what other people are spending on their own. It's we have to remember who we are, our place in the world, how important it is for us to be a superpower, and how important I think it is for us to kind of keep the world on good standing, so to speak. I just believe that way about the United States, despite all the stuff that's going on right now politically in our country, and we'll see in the next week how that's going to fall out. But I still want to hold to the principles that I grew up with, the principles that I believe that we are supposed to be about in this country.
Appreciate that, Mr. Justice. Guys and gals and pals who are watching and commenting again, we're on 53 Facebook pages and our YouTube channel right now live. Thanks for watching and commenting. The next question, again, it's the same question, I should say, for Mr. Marcus Bagwell. Should the U.S. reduce its military budget, Marcus? And if it does so, would the consequences overshadow the benefits of such a decision? Whenever you're ready to go, good sir, the floor is yours.
The answer is absolutely no. Absolutely not. Do we reduce the military budget? In 2023, the U.S. spent $120 billion in funding the military. In 2024, so far, it's $842 million. That's $2.6 more billion this year than last year already. With all that said, the United States only spends 13.3 on federal spending budget. So only 13.3% out of 100 goes to the military. That's only 13.3. We're number one for a reason. Money is power, and power is money. You've got to have money to have the stuff that the military needs. If we were a weaker country, then we would be getting stepped on. Just like David said, the reason Ukraine is going through troubles and we got to send them money and everything, and that's because Russia decided to step on them. Nobody decides to step on the United States of America because of our military. We do not reduce the military by no means. Now, even if you saw let's say the military budget for the federal spending budget was 25%, I still would be having this argument of absolutely not. We should not reduce it because it's only 25%. We're only at 13.3% goes to the military out of our entire 100% of our federal spending budget. That's nothing, man. That's incredible. Hell, I pay my agent 15%. to get my signings done on my contracts. I paid 13.3 less. That's incredible to know that we're number one and we're only giving the military 13.3% of our budget. Now, let's say you were going to reduce it. We would be weaker. We would be very much more able to get stepped on by the countries that don't like us. There's haters everywhere. Iran, they don't like the Americans. They burn our flags. If we were weaker, what would they do if they were stronger? If we reduce our budget, then we could get weaker, and then countries like that could step on us, man. We have got to keep the military number one. We are number one because of our military. The strength we have with our military is so powerful. And even as strong as it is, stuff like 9/11 still happened, where they come over here and they're able to get 2 airplanes and fly them through the Empire State Building. Are you kidding? I mean, that's crazy. And that was on our ground, brother. That's on our ground. So the answer is absolutely no. You do not reduce the military budget. You keep it exactly where it's at. Power is money, and money is power. And we need to keep power for the United States of America.
Appreciate that, Mr. Bagwell. Absolutely. Thank you for delving deep, my friend. And again, guys, as you can see, Mr. David Justice, Marcus Buff Bagwell in a moment, Bryant B-Mac McKinnie going deep here about a topic that is very important. And the way we're framing and presenting it is as well. Marcus, the question I want to ask you here real quick, there's a lot of factors when it comes to, I guess, our military budget over the last 4 or 5 decades. One is inflation. Now, in 75, there was I remember teaching this in class years ago, a botch job. 1975, we all know how Vietnam ended. It didn't end well at all. In 1975, if you guys want to look up what happened, go down that rabbit hole. The point I'm trying to make is inflation was probably at its worst, at its zenith, at its apex, if you will, back then. Are we more susceptible, Marcus, to being attacked by another country, hence increasing our military budget, post-war, pre-war, or during war?
Wow, that's a toughie. So the answer still is just by reducing the military it's not going to help us. It's not going to make it better. Vietnam, I think everybody could go on the same page and say it was a mistake, but that's like being a Tuesday morning quarterback. It's easy to say, what could we have done afterwards? Brother, that's easy. So that was a mistake. It was a mistake, and it cost billions of dollars and a lot of lives. But the logical numbers are we are going to be weaker. The United States would be weaker if we reduced our military. If there was some way they could show, like I said, if there was like a 40, if the military was getting 40% of the federal spending budget, then those kind of things make me go, well, yeah, I mean, we could cut. I mean, it's got to be 40, man. 40 is a lot. 40% of something is a lot. 13.3% of something isn't a lot. If we're number one and we're only spending 13.3 to our military of our federal spending budget, then you keep everything right where it's at. We're number one. And the big reason why the United States of America is the best country and why we're the strongest is because of our military. You do not reduce it.
In that case, do you feel like sometimes maybe the best offense is a great defense?
Oh, absolutely. I'm a firm believer in that saying.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. And guys and gals, thank you again for giving it to Mr. Marcus Bagwell. I'm going to ask questions, of course, after the question, just because, again, Marcus Bagwell, David Justice, and Bryant McKinnie, as you can see, are going very, very deep. 3 intelligent human beings here that we're all learning from a ton, and we appreciate their time. The same question I'll pose to Mr. Bryant McKinnie. Bryant, should the U.S. reduce its military budget? And if it does so, would the consequences overshadow the benefits of such a decision? Whenever you're ready, good sir, the floor is yours.
I agree with the two gentlemen. I don't think that we should reduce our budget for the military. One reason is what both gentlemen already said is we are the powerhouse who everyone has to come through, and we are like the big brother to everyone else. We step in to help. Another thing I would say is I feel like we should be more focused on where money is being allocated to, so we can make sure that we can help veterans once they are out of the military have some more funding and things and support once they leave, once they've already served our country. I feel like that's an area that we're missing. So everything isn't just about war. It's also about the guys after they leave the military. And then I also would say, too, defunding can also help lose a lot of jobs. There's about 3 million people or so who are in the military who work in different positions. And then a lot of guys can't even go to college without first going to the military. So I think it'll take a lot of those opportunities away, too, by defunding, because now you take away a lot of jobs as well. So I think those are some major points to why we should not defund. So not only protecting us, but also a lot of jobs will be lost.
Appreciate that, Mr. McKinney. Yeah. My question for you, my friend, do you think, there's a certain budget allocated to different branches of military? We can never compare. Much like Cher and Madonna. They're both amazing. We can't compare them. They're both legends. But when it comes to different branches of our military, when there's a certain budget that's allocated to a particular branch, is there a way to not have one branch in particular have their feathers ruffled, knowing that their branch is receiving a lot less than the other?
At the end of the day, everybody has to realize that we're a team. So our goal here is to keep everyone protected and keep jobs going and things like that. So that's, to me, a small-minded situation where somebody's is worried about, more concerned of who's getting more money. The goal overall, everybody should know, it's a common goal to win a Super Bowl or any type of championship is everybody be on the same team and have the same common goal, and that's to win. So that's how they have to look at things. Yeah, thankfully in 92, we had the National Defense Authorization Act. Without that, the Marines were definitely getting a bit upset at Army. This was for like the entire calendar year of 92. It's one of the things that Perot and Clinton and Bush Sr. had to discuss during one of their 3 debates. And, I'm glad you brought up how, again, it's the ensemble, it's the team. If it wasn't for that act, I don't think it would have been nipped in the bud. There's so much. I feel like when we don't have a political enemy, we divide ourselves amongst ourselves. The real division occurs when we don't have a focus towards like a central enemy of ours. And, are we at our best? Are we at our best when we're fighting against something or someone? Marcus?
I do got something to add to that, I think. And that is, yes, everybody does need to be on the same team, 100% right. But it would be a horrible idea to have, like, the Army know that the Marines are getting more money, that the Marines are getting more money than Army. It should be known that all 4 are equally given the same amount of money, because that does make you want to, that makes you want to try harder for the team to win the ultimate goal. But if you knew, as competitive as every human is, if you knew that the Marines was getting more money than the Army or vice versa, that makes me mad just hearing it. So I definitely would want to at least know, hey, we're all getting the same money here, because there's not one better than the other. In football, baseball, pro wrestling, anything else, there is a voted on better person. That person gets paid the most. But the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines are dead even, and they should be. So they should be paid evenly, at least, and then they join as a team to have the ultimate victory of being the number 1 country. But I do think for sure, yeah, they should know that everybody's getting the same amount of money.
I appreciate your insight, Mr. Bagwell. Mr. Justice?
So, in my opinion with that, it's all about getting what you need. Now, you're dealing with the Air Force. We're dealing with airplanes, right? I could make an argument that they may need a little bit more money because of all the aircraft. I think everyone same amount of money, you might not be able to get the Air Force what they actually did with and all that kind of stuff. This is off my head. You see, my thing is this: leaders of each branch, we all get together. We're on one team. It's just like captains on a team. You see, hey Brian, you the Navy. What y'all need? You got the submarines. Y'all got all this. What y'all need to be successful? Okay, there it is. All right, now you put the Army. All right, okay. All right, cool. We got this. As long as you got everything you need, that's what's most important. I think more so than, hey, we're gonna give you all the exact same amount of money. And if we're all on the same team, all we want is what we need to be successful. Now, all I want you to give me, coach, is what I need to be. You ain't got to give me no more than that. And if my boy over there, if the Marines need a little bit more money, don't get them some more money. We need them to be successful too. And if Brian at the Navy, they need all their stuff, man, get them some more money too, man. We got what we need, okay? But we're a collective team. This is the amount of money that's allotted to us. Let's make the best use of this money so we can win as a team. That's how I kind of see it.
I totally agree. As long as it's open to not, when you explain that to me, yes, airplanes and stuff, ships and things over helmets and gear, that there's more money there. But as long as it makes sense on paper of why the Marines get more or Air Force before airplanes get more, Tom Brady gets more because he's got, as long as it's explained for the team so they don't feel like they're getting screwed, 100% what David said, yes. I think it should be known that, like I said, now that you've reset it, great way to say it, it can't be dead even because, think about it, when you got the Navy, that's ships and much more expensive things. Air Forces is jets and airliners. The number's never going to be the same. Great example. But at least let it be known why this number's here and your number's here so that guys want to work harder for the team.
You know, it's so funny you bring that up. And Bryant, you had your finger up as well, my friend, right? Am I right about that?
Yeah, because I actually was going to say what David said. It was about with the team needs and making sure like it can be allocated if, you know, like say we don't use all of our budget, but you guys need more money. I was going to say that, but he said it.
Yeah,
sure. You know, it's so funny because we live in a time now where the commander-in-chief doesn't have to be so decorated in terms of his accomplishments in the military. Back then, that was a prerequisite if you were running for office. It was a prerequisite. You have Eisenhower, you have Kennedy, you have Bush, all men who served, all men who were high-ranking. And I think when it comes from a morale standpoint, think about what you guys just said, because I agree with you. When it comes to morale, when you don't have someone who is a high-ranking official, who served our country, who's trying to still make sure that they prioritize military spending, it's very tough to drive that point home to veterans who are very, very idealistic and very, very insincere when it comes to their approach towards politicians. Right now, when we talk military, there's this negative connotation that we haven't seen since Vietnam. All of a sudden, using the word military is this dirty word, and that's awful. But do you feel as if that's because our commanders-in-chief aren't as decorated as they once were when it comes to the service and their service in this country?
I just think that they don't have the level of respect. Can you hear me? The level of respect is not there. When the rhetoric around our military has not been glowing. I mean, I don't know how political we get now here, but I mean, you telling that they're suckers and losers, and you know what I mean? When you talk junk about the military, what do you expect the morale to be in the military? When you don't take the advice of your generals, who, let me tell y'all something, I'm not a military guy, but I gotta believe, boy, it's a lot of work you got to do to become a general, right? That's top of the top right there. They don't just give out generals, right? You got to be on point. And these are the people that we have always entrusted to make the best decisions for this country militarily. And we're in 2024, we still looking pretty good. Okay. So a lot of great decisions have been made that allows us to be where we are. But when you start talking junk about and making people think that our generals are now liars and they're stupid, dumb, I don't know how he became a general. You start spreading that narrative over and over and over. It only stands to reason that people will start to look at media. I'm starting to look at the military not as glowingly, because you're telling us that we shouldn't be revering these guys. You're telling us that these guys are not the guys we think they are. Shout out to all the military. Let me tell y'all something. I shout out to everybody in the military, because I have been on bases in foreign countries. I see what y'all do every single day to keep us safe. And
all the things I don't want to do. Brian, you don't. Don't none of us want to be doing. Don't none of us want to be over no base in Germany. Waking up every day and doing the things that these dudes do in order to keep us safe. See, and
I like
that
what you
is
said.
something weird.
I feel like the objective of a soldier is not always the purpose of a government. Two different things. Because like you said, the objective of a soldier is to serve his or her country. Sure. And the objective of a government may not be to protect that soldier.
Avi, you have a generation now that don't even want to go in the military.
Yeah.
They don't even want to do that. It's just like playing for a great manager. Your manager sets the climate of the clubhouse. He creates an environment where you want to come and succeed. That's what a manager does. So when your manager in chief is not creating that type of clubhouse for the military, because sure. Okay? You go now to say, you know what, maybe I don't want to go in the military. Maybe I don't want to. And Brian brought up a great point earlier about, the way we treat our veterans is absolutely sickening. Like, literally,
ridiculous.
That is absolutely terrible.
Yep.
We're asking these people to safe, and then we can't provide housing. We got all these military guys with the with post whatever the stress that they deal with and
PTSD.
Homeless, and we ain't got nothing.
Yes.
PTSD, and now the homeless population that's filled with the military. That is shameful. That is absolutely shameful. All right? Shameful.
I would agree.
So again, you're making, our leaders should be talking about our military in such revered ways that our young kids should be growing up saying, I want to be the next generation of defenders.
Wearing Army shirts, wearing Marine shirt, wearing the Navy shirt. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Before the media, and I love this because we're not talking left, right, guys, gals, pals, sponsors, everybody. What I love about what you just said, and Mr. Bagwell and McKinney as well, is that before the media reared their ugly head in the mid-'60s, when even Uncle Walty Cronkite was biased and all of a sudden started talking about his opinion about what was happening, it became subjective. Now, all of a sudden, all the people who wanted to become like their parents, when they saw those photos in World War II, they were sailors kissing strangers post-World War II in 45. And all of a sudden, they realized, wait a minute, we're fighting a war right now in which our own government and media aren't supporting us. Why should they have gotten spit on? They sacrificed their lives for this country. They came back home treated like scum for sacrificing their lives for this country. To have their remains being broadcast during dinner at 7 p.m. while Walter Cronkite is counting casualties? You're right. I totally agree with you. So amen to what you guys said about our veterans. Amen to that. You are absolutely right, guys. Thank you again for being so passionate about that. I'm going to bring in our judges, guys. I'll zip the old lip, and guys and gals and pals in the comment section.
One last thing. I was on an airplane one day, and this is, just probably 10, 15 years ago, and I was on the airplane sitting in first class, and a young gentleman came on the plane in all camos, and a guy in first class goes, "Hey, brother, take my seat." And the guy gave his first class seat to a guy in the service, and I was like, "Oh my God, that's the coolest thing I ever saw." So the next guy came on with camo, and another guy in first class gave him his seat.
Right,
brother, I couldn't wait to be the next one to give that person my seat. But I didn't even realize, I didn't really even know, because I wasn't shown and taught by my leaders to respect the veterans and respect what they've done for us.
Sure.
What they do for us, what David Justice says, times a million, brother. We don't want to go over there and sleep in a camp and get told to wake up, when to sleep, and when to eat. We don't want to do that, but it's because of the persona they put out. But before that plane took off, first class was filled with camo, and that speaks volumes.
It does. It definitely does. Veterans will never, ever, nor should they ever be considered persona non grata. You're right about that. Guys and gals and pals, Mr. Jamie, Giselle, I see Collado out there in the back. You guys are going to be judging. Your votes are worth 5 judges. And, of course, guys and gals and pals, in the comment section, you can determine the outcome of the match. This is cumulative. So we carry over these points to topic number 2. And unlike round number 1, only 2 topics tonight, not 3, only 2. Let's bring in Jamie Sparling and see who he votes for and why. Jamie, take it away, good sir.
Gentlemen, thank you so much. You guys really brought the heat for night 6, and it was just amazing. Mr. McKinney, bringing up the veterans. Thank you. Well done. That was a piece that really needed to be addressed and meant a great deal. Mr. Bagwell, percentages. Those different things, it almost makes you want to go down a rabbit hole. I'm sure I'll be up till the middle of the night trying to figure out different things. Thank you so much for bringing that information. Mr. David Justice. Sir, I have to vote for you. You gave me, when you brought it back around to your equipment manager, you brought it around to a different type of venue, and I really like that. And you also talked about, well, maybe we just need to watch where the money's going. So there were a couple solutions in there, and I got to vote for David Justice on this one. Amazing, gentlemen. Amazing.
Appreciate you, Jamie, guys and gals. Jamie, a great actor, done a lot of great work. Appreciate you coming here to judge, my friend, Mr. Jamie Sparling. Thank you so much. And again, guys and gals, I know this sounds sappy. I hear it in my head. I hear, man, Albie, you're sounding sappy. But there are no losers here, man. There's no one's better than anybody here. Who resonates most with you? Who did you learn from more? That's what it's all about. You're looking at 3 greats over here, not just when it comes to their resume or their name or their acclaim or their fame, but what they're doing outside of the game. Let's bring in Howard and see who Howard votes for and why.
Hey, gentlemen, super honored to be on screen with all 3 of you gentlemen, and welcome back to all 3. What Avi said, who did I learn from? I learned from all 3 of you gentlemen. Marcus, that 13.3% is what goes to the military. That's an amazing fact. I had no idea. Very eye-opening. I love how you summed up your argument. Power is money and money is power. It's a strong statement. Brian, and thank you as well for bringing attention to, if we do reduce our budget, what happens to those already working in the military, right? Those people get immediately affected. And David, it really became just a numbers game. Who came up with the most arguments? That's really all. All 3 of you had such strong arguments. But, David, you talked about, you used the analogy of the equipment manager who knows the team. War has a profit aspect to it. You talked about the Benetine greenhouse. Again, information that I never knew. And then you kind of ended it with this aspect of corruption, the corruption aspect. That's always going to be there. Personally, I think all 3 of you should be consultants, perhaps for the military, but that's just but thank you guys. My vote goes to David.
Yes, I concur. I like that. We should start maybe. So who would be Commander-in-Chief, Howard?
Oh.
Yes, I'm putting you on the spot.
Oh man! In
case you're wondering.
Oh, gee, I don't, man.
I'm a field soldier. Make Brian and make them be the leaders. I'll do all the dirty work.
Howard, you could think about that, my friend. Let us.
Okay, I'll get back to you on that.
Absolutely. You're going to have to loosen the tie for that. It's a tough question, my friend. Trust me, I'm glad I'm not answering it. But right now, I'm going to answer the bell by bringing in Giselle. Let's see who Giselle votes for and why.
Good evening. Welcome back. I'm so happy all 3 of you are back in round 2. Mr. Justice, I love that you brought up that you don't necessarily need to change the budget, but look at it and allocate the funds, see where they're going, see what we can do differently, reduce the unnecessary spending, figure out where those contracts are going and how we lose the money and where that comes from. Mr. Bagwell, you gave us the actual budget, the numbers, the percentages that are currently being spent on the military in 2024. So that was really fantastic to have that basis for your argument and the other competitors' arguments as well. And Mr. McKinney, your focus on the veterans is so fantastic. They're far too often forgotten, and the services are, from what I hear, in most places deplorable, and that certainly needs to change. But Mr. Justice had the most diverse and varied and solid points for me, so my vote is going to him.
Appreciate that. Thank you, Giselle. 2 out of 3 move on to round number 3. That's how it's always been. Thank you, Giselle, again for your time. Guys and gals and pals, I'm going to count your votes now because your votes matter. I'm going to pull them up on screen. That's why I didn't pull them up just yet. Let's see who you go for and why. Phil says he votes for David Justice. Like this topic. Thank you so much, Phil. First responder. Thank you for what you did during 9/11, my friend. Appreciate you. Guys, Alvin votes for Marcus. Thank you, Alvin. First-time viewer voting for Marcus. Giselle, thank you for tallying things in the back. The cooker, Mr. Bob Cook, votes for Marcus Bagwell. Thank you, Bob Cook, for joining us tonight. We have another vote. This is from Larry. I love the simplicity of Marcus's argument. I vote Marcus. 3 straight for Marcus Bagwell. Rose Feldman, B-Mac gets my vote. Thank you, Rose. We appreciate that. Another vote for Bryant McKinnie. That's 2 in a row, guys. Here's another one on screen. 2 in a row for Bryant McKinnie. Reina Nunez also votes for Team BMAC. That's 3 straight for Bryant McKinnie. We have more for Bryant McKinnie. Let's see who we got here right now, guys and gals and pals. Reina, I did count your vote. I already counted that. Aaron, organization, votes for Bryant. Thank you so much. I can't count all of these. I will try to count the most. Robert votes Marcus. The 13.3% was an amazing fact. Okay, let me keep pulling these up. If you already voted, guys, I see some of you already voted for the same person. You cannot do that more than once because I'm counting it. I don't want to get vertigo. DJ Solo says, I got to vote for David for the same reasons. He gave the most information, and I love his solutions as well. Thank you, DJ Solo. We appreciate that. Okay. Did I say BMAC? I got your vote now, and it is official, so you did say BMAC. Thank you again for putting up your votes. Appreciate that. I will count as many as I can. We have another vote here. This is Julio Negron. Let me pull up your comment, Julio. Once, twice, thrice. Where is that comment? Here we go. Man, this is going to be a hard vote, but I think I got to go Marcus on this one. He says his answer created a slew of questions that need more answers to really dive deep on the solutions we need as a nation. Julio votes Marcus. Okay, Julio, we got that. More votes. Let's see, guys. I'll count about maybe 10 more. We can't do this all night, of course, because then we'll be into next week's show. And if you guys want to know, again, every Saturday night, there has not been one night missed for 4 years. Guys and gals, the celebrity tournament. It's incredible because the outro is going to show you who we have next week on Saturday night. 131 Hall of Famers and award winners in round number 2. It will whittle down to 1. 6 rounds in total. 1 person will win the whole shebang. All right, guys. We have one here from, is this John Glowaniac? I'm trying to pull up yours. Definitely hard to vote. Gus Galaxy, BMAC is great, but I'm giving it to Bagwell. All 3 gave us solid takes, though. Okay, guys, I'm going to pull up about 5 more. April Snyder votes for BMAC. Thank you, April. Appreciate that. Free NX votes for Bryant. 2 straight for Bryant McKinnie. Okay, I like these words. Very nice words. Best mentor I've had the pleasure of having in my life, Bryant McKinnie. Thank you for that. Nice words there. Let's see. There's more here. There's Jacob voting for David Justice. Let me pull up his comment here as well. Cezanne 280. It was difficult, but I'm going to go with Marcus by a hair, but amazing arguments by all 3. Got it. Okay, and if I did not count your vote, guys, it's not because I missed it. I am trying to do my best to get as many as I can. Diamond Williams votes BMAC. Gloria Westcott votes Marcus. So 1 for Marcus, 1 for BMAC. This is always on the up and up. Guys and gals, I'm going to count things down from 10 to 0. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, there's a 5 and a 4 and a 3. Then you know there's a 2 and a 1 and a 0. Guys and gals and pals, we are ready to move into topic number 2. Our final topic, it is cumulative. I can see how close this is. At the buzzer, Alvin, you already voted for Marcus. I already counted that. John Glowaniac, I vote for David. He hit it out of the park with liberty and justice for all, says John Glowaniac. Way with words there. Okay, I like that. We will hire you as a screenwriter, maybe in the former studio I worked for. Guys, they need some screenwriters badly. All right, here, let's see. We're up to topic number 2 right now. All right, guys, topic number 2. There are a couple. We'll play a couple, not all, but this is a lot of fun. This gives Bryant, David, and Marcus a chance to kind of take a deep breath. A couple of your predictions that you sent me earlier, about a couple of minutes worth, of who you thought would win this match, who would advance, and why. Here we go. This is all of you, the masses, the engine that makes this thing go.
Well, hello and happy Saturday night, Green Room Nation. Tonight we have three amazing competitors that I think are going to be really entertaining. We have Atlanta Braves baseball Hall of Famer David Justice. We have pro wrestling legend Marcus Buff Bagwell. And we have college football Hall of Famer Bryant McKinnie. This is going to be a pretty crazy match, and I think personally that David Justice and Marcus Buff Bagwell are going to be highly entertaining. Out of the two to move on to round three, they've got my vote so far, but we'll see.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for tonight's awesome match? We have Atlanta Braves Hall of Famer David Justice. He will be facing the one, the only pro wrestling legend Marcus Buff Bagwell. They will be taking on college football Hall of Famer Bryant McKinnie. This is going to be one amazing match. 2 out of 3 move on, 1 goes home. Who will be that one? Being packed away, sitting on the sideline at home? We will have to wait and find out later on tonight. But who do I think is going to move on? My top pick is going to be David Justice and Bryant McKinnie. And Buff Bagwell may be going home, but as I said, let's stay tuned tonight and find all this out.
Wow, what a night tonight. We have college football Hall of Famer Bryant McKinnie. We got the big man. We have professional wrestling legend Marcus Buff Bagwell. And we have Atlanta Braves Hall of Famer, Major League Baseball great David Justice. 2 will move on to round 3. 1 goes home. Who's that going to be? I'm going with Buff with the stuff, and David, he's going to smack it out of the park. Brian McKinney, good competitor, but I think Buff and David move on to round 3. We'll find out tonight. Can't wait, baby.
Hello, TKN fam. How you doing? Now tonight's the big one. Tonight is the one that I have been waiting for. Because guess what? We have freaking pro wrestling legend Buff Bagwell going up against Atlanta Braves Hall of Famer David Justice and college football Hall of Famer Bryant McKinnie. Now, this is going to be a fantastic match. And as for predictions, I gotta go with David Justice. How can you not? The man is too charismatic. He is too good of a talker, too good of a storyteller to not get that top spot. And I think just missing out, it's going to be Buff Bagwell at second. But I think it's going to be it's going to be close. It's going to be a close one. I don't want to count out Bryant McKinnie, but unfortunately, the other two are just too strong competitors for me to not say that they're going to get the first and second spot. 2 move on, 1's got to go. And that is just the way it's got to be at TKN, but it's all in great fun.
Absolutely, guys and gals. We appreciate your predictions because, again, you guys aren't going to be ignored ever. You can give us your thoughts, and what I like is that you respect everybody across the board. That's what it's all about. The respect here is universal, whether or not you're again, it doesn't matter if you're a street sweeper. It doesn't matter, guys and gals and pals, if you are a luminary. We are all here doing this thing together, learning from one another. And again, the studio that said it couldn't happen, boy, were they wrong. They want a controversy. You want that, go somewhere else. You got conversation over here where we learn from one another. And again, strangers walk in as friends. David Justice, Marcus Bagwell, Bryant McKinnie. That's what we got going on here on a Saturday night. So, guys, things are tight on this Saturday night. But right now, who's going to bite? Topic number 2. Our final topic is upon us. And I want to introduce our final topic. It's a bit thought-provoking. We've learned from history that people are united by questions. Maybe it's the answers that can divide people. Maybe through the answers in the process, we uncover people's implicit assumptions. Maybe we can expose deeply held beliefs. Maybe we can recognize people's hidden contradictions. Maybe rather than teacher filling the mind of the student, maybe both are responsible for moving the dialogue forward. But what about trust? And what about truth? So the question I have here, this philosophical question, which now Bryant McKinnie will start off with. And again, Marcus and David can rebut if they'd like. Bryant McKinnie, in your opinion, why is it difficult for human beings to measure the weight of truth? The floor is yours whenever you are ready, good sir.
So can you elaborate on that a little bit more, though?
Yes, and I'll repeat the question again as well. The question was, in your opinion, why is it difficult for human beings to measure the weight of truth? Why is it hard for us to measure truth as a people?
Well, because you can't make it you can't generalize it for one. So that's a like by situation type of thing, though. But I'm gonna say, as far as like lying and things like that, one is a learned behavior. I feel a lot of people learn that as a child and are able to get away with things, and they use it as a tactic to move on in life. Some people lie and do things basically out of fear and scared of their consequences. I think other people are insulting your intelligence and feel like you're not smart to figure out things when it comes to lying. And then some people do things to protect your feelings. So I think those are the reasons why people lie. But how do you measure it is based on your own life experience. It's not really about like, I don't feel like there's a real solid answer on how certain, because I have different life experiences from everybody up here. So how I handle truth telling or not telling the truth compared to somebody else may be a little bit different. I may tolerate some things that some of these guys up here won't. So to me, that's more of a psychological question. And I don't really feel like I got a good like feel on what it is exactly you want me to say.
Well, let me ask you this, because I'm glad you brought that up. But again, you know, when I think of these topics, when I conceive them, I want to make sure that they speak to you, because you're right. There's no wrong answer. There's no right answer. You're absolutely right about that. It is general. But when you think in your personal life, and I guess that's what I should have asked you, when you're personalizing, Bryant, and you're thinking about why human beings sometimes can't measure truth, maybe it's because they don't want to face truth. Maybe it's because they don't want to have to face other people's truth. Maybe it's because they don't want to see other people's truth. Why is it that truth can sometimes scare us, divide us, separate us? Why is it sometimes that we have to pull the wool over our own eyes when it comes to truth? And of course, that question has to do with you, my friend, and how you've kind of handled that, how you've handled
Right.
people.
So I'm not somebody who shies away from anything or scared of truth. I feel like I would rather take on the truth so we can move forward and not have to deal with it instead of keep lying about something and have to keep remembering the lie and moving forward in life like that way. I don't operate that way. So as far as when it comes to truth, I'm very truthful and I'm very direct and I'm very honest. So that's why I say it's based on your life experience and how you handle certain situations in life. Some people aren't, they like to avoid conflict, so therefore they may lie or they may, do other things to avoid being in a situation where they may hurt somebody's feelings. That's why I gave you 4 different reasons of why somebody may lie. So to me, this question is kind of like based off like the individual.
Without question. Yeah. And that's how I get to know more about the individual, my friend. And I guess all of us too, because you did give it to us based on your take. And that's important because I want to know how Bryant views that question. How does Bryant McKinnie, because you matter to us, because you put other people on pedestals and help them out. And now we're kind of being able to kind of see your standpoint when it comes to that question. And soon we're going to see David's and how he interpreted it, and Marcus and how he interpreted that question as well. It's meant to be thought-provoking. Bryant, of course, hit a home run as he always does. There's no doubt a deep thinker and a man who does stand for character and for people who don't have a voice. Guys and gals and pals, I am now going to rotate this thing out, and I'm going to ask Marcus Bagwell, David Justice. This time we'll go third instead of first. Marcus Bagwell, the same question for you, my friend. In your opinion, why is it difficult for human beings to measure the weight of truth, my friend?
Why is it difficult for humans to measure the weight of truth? Man, that's huge. Let's start it off with Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, gave us 10 commandments, 10 things that he asked of every human being that walked this earth. And number 9 is thou shalt not lie.
shall tell the truth. Number 9, brother. So it's one of, just to start this thing off, it's God's choice. It's God's hope that we would follow these 10 commandments. And one of them, and the number 9th one is, do not lie. Besides that, it's hard for people to handle the truth. Just like Jack Nicholson said in Few Good Men, you can't handle the truth. I do believe some people can't handle it. I believe that every single person in the world is a liar. I believe I'm a liar. I believe you're a liar. It's in us to be a liar. The fine line of liar is exaggeration. I call an exaggeration a lie. And everybody I know exaggerates. If there was 10,000 people there, and then there was really 2,000, or just, it's just in our blood, it's in our human nature to want to lie. And it takes dedication, it takes practice, it takes humility to not lie. I will be telling a story and instantly I exaggerate, which I believe is a lie. And I'll say, yeah, man, there was a couple thousand people there. And I will stop and I regroup, I pray about it, and I focus and I say, you know what? There wasn't 2,000 people there. There was about 150. There was about 150. There wasn't 2,000. And then I continue the story. That's not easy right there. At that junction, it's a little bit embarrassing. You're having to start your story over. It makes your story not as cool. Your story's a little weaker now. Instead of 2,000 people, there's 150. It just an exaggerated story / a lying story usually is a better story. You know, how big was the fish? You know, oh, it's a 5-pounder. It was 1.5 pounds. But it makes a better story. But the truth is, to be a better person on the inside and out, you should not lie. In the beginning, even at a young age, I didn't lie because it was too much work. When you told the first lie, it was like pretty soon you had to cover that lie. And then another lie led to another lie. And then it just became, it was too much work. I didn't lie at a young age because it was too hard. And then when I found out that being a better person was not lying, and wait a minute, I can be a better person and my life is a little bit easier if I just tell the truth. Sign me up for that. Brother, I speak the truth. And the truth is, most people don't tell the truth. Most people are liars. It's just something in the human body that makes us do that. And I really believe a lot of it is because they can't handle it. Within 5 minutes of meeting me, I believe you're going to like me or you're going to hate my guts. And it usually goes the liking way, but not always, because some people don't like the transparency. Some people don't like to be told they got a booger in their nose. If I got a booger in my nose, I want somebody to tell me. But some people don't want to be told. Hey, Bagwell, keep it to yourself. I get it. Some people don't want to be told that. Those people are the people that can't handle the truth. Dedication, practice, prayer, the truth shall set you free. And that's what Jim Carrey said in Liar, Liar. The truth shall set you free. And brother, it's the truth. The truth does set you free. If you tell the truth, you're a better person inside, which turns the world to be a better person outside. If everybody starting tomorrow never told another lie, this world would be a much better place. Thanks.
Oh, thank you, Marcus Bagwell. Thank you, Bryant McKinnie. My question for Marcus, Brian, and David before David goes up here, again, just you guys can jump in anytime you want to this question here. Do you feel as if it has a lot to do with people yearning for acceptance? Is that one of the causes of lies, do you think? Do you think it's because people want to be accepted, hence they put stuff out there that isn't authentic, Bryant?
Well, I feel like some people fantasize more about the lie, and it makes them feel better about themselves. So they'll tell a lie to kind of enhance whatever it is they have going on. So it's really, to me, like an ego thing or a self-esteem thing.
More like self-acceptance, maybe, perhaps.
It can be.
Yeah, Marcus.
Exactly what Bryant said. Absolutely.
Sure.
I'm not proud about this, but in jail, for example, when you're in jail, everybody's got an Escalade. Everybody makes six figures. Everybody's somebody famous. Everybody's got something waiting on the outside that's just they're gonna be rolling as soon as they hit the pavement. It makes people feel better to lie about the situation. If you're being honest about it and it's going to hurt you, nobody wants to hear that. So we start believing the lie we tell ourselves, the story we tell ourselves. I'm a loser. I'm weak. I don't feel good.
Right.
You're going to be a loser. You're going to be weak. You're not going to feel good. But if I tell myself I'm strong, I'm powerful, I'm a truth seeker. I seek the truth. I'm going to be a better person.
Well said. Well said. Thank you. From Bryant and from Marcus. David Justice, I'm going to ask you the same question, my friend, and I know the way you interpret it is quite fine. There's no right way to answer this, of course. David, in your opinion, why is it difficult for human beings perhaps to measure the weight of truth? Good sir.
So the way I look at truth is outside of the observable truth. Like, for instance, we're having this conversation. That's the truth. I got on a black shirt with red hat. That's the truth. Those are observable truths. But I think life, a lot of time, truth is literally determined. I think the first sign of your truth starts with you as a kid. I'll give you an example. Let's take a kid that's growing up in a family with no love whatsoever. Doesn't get hugs and kisses from his parents. When he goes to school, his teacher doesn't give him any sense that he can be successful. On the way to school, he may have to fight. He's in a tough neighborhood. Every day is different. If you ask that kid, how do you view the world? His truth of the world being a scary place, his truth of the world being a non-loving place, his truth of a world being a world where I don't get support, is going to be his truth. And it's going to be a very strong conviction because it is being based upon his personal life. Just like a kid that's growing up in a household with a lot of love, that lives in a neighborhood where they never fight. It goes to a school where he gets all the support in the world. And you ask that kid, what's your truth on the world? That kid's going to say, the world's a great place. Oh my God, it's overwhelming how much support that's out here. I just feel so loved. So when kids are growing up and all the similar situations in between, your truth is something that gets challenged a lot of times on a daily basis because a lot of truth is wrapped up in emotions, a lot of it. And imagine you're growing up in a household where you're getting a lot of love. I remember my household, y'all. My mom was my everything. If y'all heard Avi say, my mom, we're with my mom. I'm an only child. My hierarchy, guys, it was my mom, then my mom, then my mom, then God. My mom knew more than God. My point is that take the kid that's growing up with no love. He's in the neighborhood looking for someone to say, you know what? We care about you. See, all of us have a sense of belonging. All of us want to be liked. Boy, we can look at these comments. It could be 99 positive comments. That one negative comment, I'm all over it. Man, I can't believe he just said this about me. We all, if we had it our way, would want to be loved. All of us. We all would want to be liked, appreciated, recognized. I think a large part of that feeling determines truth. Now, hey, I don't know about y'all, but I'm married. If my wife walked in here right now with an outfit on that didn't look good, and if I sensed that she thought that outfit looked good, you best believe I'm gonna tell her, baby, that outfit looked good. I'm going to tell her, okay? Because a lot of times we do take into account the individual we're talking to, okay, the temperature of the conversation, and then we also we all want, if we can, to make others feel better about themselves. And sometimes in trying to help other people feel better about themselves, sometimes you might have to tell them something that's not true. That I think that's a part of life. I think you'll have a tougher life because I'm gonna tell you right now, I have let my mouth get me in trouble by being truthful. By being truthful, called some hell because, like you said earlier, some people can't handle the truth. But part of maturing, fellas, is us understanding the person we're talking to, the amount of truth that they can handle, but then us giving them enough truth to help them in their process. And that's what I say, truth is a daily thing. And a lot of times, one thing I think we as individuals don't do, we don't spend enough time really questioning our own truths. We really don't. I remember when I got my first long contract with the Braves, they said, is there any teams you don't want to play for? I said, yep, there's 2 teams. The Boston Red Sox, the Philadelphia Phillies. Didn't know nothing about Boston people or Philly people. But I heard that Boston is not a comfortable place for brothers to play. I heard that Boston can be racist. I heard Philly fans are crazy. I heard all these things. So, like we know, if you hear something enough, all of a sudden, you hear it enough times, we start to believe it, right? But I didn't have no personal experience of none of that. But my truth at that time was, well, my truth is that Boston is this way, Philly is this way. I didn't take the time to question my own belief in my truths. So that's something that I think we all, okay, at times, we need to question our beliefs and our truths to make sure that what we're believing and what we think is the truth has actually been vetted within ourselves. Because I can have a truth today, and you guys can say some, Marcus, you and Brian can say something to me that if I had never thought about that perspective and it sounded legit and it actually sounded better than the perspective that I had, I'm changing. See, my problem is always with people that say, hey man, I'm this kind of way. This how I roll. This who I am. See, when I meet people like that, what you're telling me is there's no room there for you to grow at all. You done stop growing. You've accepted. Now, why would that person accept their beliefs? Reason being is because, like you guys said earlier, a lot of us don't want to be wrong. We just don't like being wrong. I mean, my kids, I got kids. Boy, let me tell you something. Boy, my daughter, she ain't never wrong. She ain't never been wrong. I can have all the aces in the hand. Maybe you came in late. Yeah, I got 4 aces, and somehow I lose the argument because she never wrong. All right, but she's young. You know what I'm saying? And she's strong in her convictions. And I think what I have learned, guys, is as strong as I am in my convictions, that I got to understand that there could be another person across the way from me that is just as strong in their convictions, just as strong in their truth as I am in mine. Just as strong. And I totally disagree with them. That has made me grow to a different level of, I need to get better at understanding people's truths. I need to understand. I play with a teammate. We're in spring training. We had a new guy come to our team with the Braves. I'm one of the team leaders. I'm sitting next to the guy. So I want to get to understand him. I majored in psychology in college. So that's one of my things, criminal justice. But I'm always interested in how people come to think the way they think. He grew up in a small rural town, white player, okay? And he grew up in a family, a loving family, but a family who didn't like other races. So he was growing up in this family. And his truth was, I'm not supposed to like these people over there. Why? Because my mom and dad told me I shouldn't like them people. That was his truth. Then he gets drafted in baseball. He gets around the brothers, gets around the Latin guys, and he comes to realize, oh, what I was being taught was not accurate. his truth changed. Now, we all understood as we laughed on the bus. We was like, listen, man, there's good and bad in every race, bro. Right? We got the bad ones in the brothers, the white dudes, the Latin dudes, and we got the great ones too. And we just sat there and laughed. But at that time, because I was in my 20s, it really made me realize that a lot of us grow up in a bubble. We live in a bubble. And within that bubble, we're being given our truths. We're being given our truths every day. This is what you should believe. And because you want to be a part of the group, you'll fall right in line with that belief. Especially they give you some good enough advice to make you think it's good. You'll fall right into that belief. So the way I look at truth is always be open to changing your truth. Always be open to listening to another's perspective. And you know what? If their perspective just never matches your truth, then also be open to understanding that everybody is not going to understand your truth. That's okay. We are a world of billions of people. Who are we to think that everyone's going to understand our truth? But always remember to vet your truth. Make sure that what you're saying and what you believe in is truly what you feel and believe, and not something that somebody else told you to believe and you just rolling with it. Because I believe that happens a lot.
Thank you, Mr. Justice. I'm going to kick it over to Marcus Bagwell, who had his index finger up as well. Yeah. Why walk a mile for somebody who won't even cross the street for you? I see that. Mr. Bagwell.
I love the way David explained everything and explained it from the heart so well, but I disagree. He's talking, said it with his own mouth. It is their truth, but it's not the truth. It's black or white. It's 2 + 2. There's 3 sides to every story. Going with David on something with this, going with him on this there's 3 sides to every story. There's my side, and there's his side, and there's the truth. But there's always the truth. And every example David gave, there's still the truth. That kid had his truth, and that's the story he tells himself, and I get it. But that don't make it the truth. That just makes it what he believes. And his example was a kid. We're talking about life, and life, the question don't say a kid or an adult, so I get it. But still, the bottom line is it was the story the kid was telling himself. He had a rough life, so his truth is going to be different. But if you sit down with somebody intelligent, he would be told that's, even though you believe that, buddy, that's not the truth. This is the truth. So if you seek the truth, like I said before, I seek the truth. I seek for the truth. If you seek for the truth, then you will find it. And then when you find it, there ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Google it. It's there. It's black and it's white. There is a truth to it. There is a figure, and baseball players especially know there's a statistic for everything, and it's 123.4. It is the exact number, and that is the truth. There is my side of the story, there is your side of the story, and then there is always, kid, adult or not, there's always the truth.
Mr. Bagwell, guys and gals.
Set you free.
Mr. Bagwell, guys and gals, Mr. McKinney, Mr. Justice, the truth of the matter is we're learning a lot from these 3 gentlemen. There's no doubt about it. David Justice, I saw your finger up, my friend.
I have one.
Well, again, on the topic of truth, okay? Let's say, for instance, you take a kid who is growing up in a Buddhist religion, okay? All he ever knew was Buddha. His whole life, he grew up in, name any country that practiced Buddhism. Never came to the United States, has never even known.
Lost Mr. Justice for a second there. Brian, I think you had your index finger up as well, my friend.
Yeah, I just was really going over the 4 topics, the reasons why I said people lie, just to kind of just reiterate it again. Just for this overall thing was a learned behavior as a child, like what I said, is come from a child learning to tell a lie and they were able to get out of a beating, a consequence, or was able to get something they needed. Lie out of fear, which if you're in a spiritual realm, you don't operate out of fear, you operate out of faith. So therefore, you shouldn't lie. Protect somebody's feelings, which David Justice has said earlier. That was one of my points when I spoke earlier about some people are allowed to protect your feelings because they don't want to hurt your feelings and they don't think you're ready for the truth or you can handle the truth emotionally at that period of time. And then sometimes people just don't think you're intelligent enough to figure out that you're being lied to. So I feel like those are the 4 major reasons why a lie is being told in the beginning.
Yeah, and like that's good. That's 4 good points, excellent good points. But like with David, if my wife walked in and she goes, "How does this dress look?" and I don't think it looks good, I'm telling her I don't think it looks good. I tell the truth. I mean, it is. I mean, my first divorce ever came off of me going to my wife and telling her I cheated on her. The truth sets you free, brother, is what I believe. Right. In my heart, I just can't. I'm lazy. This whole journey of lying started off with me being lazy because I didn't want to carry a lie to over and over because it felt like you had to work to lie. I didn't want to work. So at a young age, I was like, man, that's a lot of work I see my dad going through. That's crazy. And then when I learned, man, it's a lot easier to tell the truth. So I didn't tell the truth to be a better person. I told the truth because it was easier. Out of being easier, life was easier, and it made me a better human. So that's why I told the truth. But religion is going to be the one thing that David's right about. Nobody agrees with. Everybody argues with religion. So it's going to be a point he makes. It's a very good one, which is, he's going to grow up as a Buddhist. Buddhists may not believe in Jesus Christ. So his truth is going to be Jesus Christ isn't real. Or so with minus religion, David's example is not going to make sense because black or white, 2 + 2 = 4, black or white, there's your side, there's my side, but there's always the truth.
Right.
Amen to that. Mr. McKinney.
So what I was saying was those were points that I made also too earlier was I'm a direct person. So to have to remember a lie is a little difficult. I said it earlier, but also what I gave you was just 4 examples of why some people may lie. So I'm not saying everybody lies for the same reason, but those are the reasons why they may tell a lie is the 4 reasons I gave you. So that's basically kind of my answer without getting like too deep, because once again, this is based off the individual and their life experiences growing up, and not like everybody doesn't think the same way. Everybody has different, experiences growing up. So you look at things differently. So just those are the standpoints I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Yeah, guys and gals and pals, you're getting it all from Mr. Buff Bagwell, Mr. Bryant B. McKinnie, and David Justice, who might be signing with us. Some tech issues, we'll see. But he did finish his second topic. Everybody did. So we bring in the judges right now. We're going to find out momentarily who advanced to round number 3 of the celebrity tournament, guys and gals and pals. It is by design that this entire tournament has taken a while. Why? Because we're building and we're growing and we're growing. And that's the plan. And that's the plan. At the end, one person, if you guys remember that show where I fanned out that money, one person's going to win the $15,000 and also a trip for 2 to Greece for 5 days and 5 nights. But at the end of the day, guys and gals, it's about the pride and the prize as well. Let's bring in Mr. David Justice, who's back with us right now, my friend. There we go.
Sorry, guys. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My phone died.
Sorry. Oh, man.
My bad. But you heard my answer. Go ahead. I mean, do you want...
I think the talking heads out there don't want us to talk about the truth. That's what I think. But guys and gals and pals, we're not going to zip the old lip. We're going to speak the truth no matter what. David Justice, Marcus Bagwell, Bryant McKinnie. Let's bring in right now Giselle Howard and Jamie, starting with Jamie. Guys, again, they're voting and so are you. You can start voting in the comment section. 2 out of 3 will move on to round number 3. Jamie, take it away. Good, sir.
Gentlemen, you're killing me. I changed my mind 3 times during this entire thing. Amazing. Mr. McKinney, there's a lot of directions to go with this particular question, but I couldn't help but read what somebody put down in the comments where they said Bryant McKinnie tackles the truth head on. Man, such integrity. If someone's typing that, I don't know. I believe that without a doubt. And you made so many great points. Mr. David Justice, amazing. You got cut off right at religion. I don't know. Could it be a sign? I'm just playing. But yeah, I really enjoyed what you had to say. And to me, truth can be a new pair of glasses. So it's going to be a layer of perception and maturity at times. And I really enjoyed what you had to say. Mr. Bagwell, amazing. Amazing. You had me until black and white, because there are just certain things that I don't know about. And maybe I'm ignorant to those things, but the black and white is, I was right there with you, brother. Right there until black and white. And I also admire you, because men that think that way also usually are men of conviction. And so, sir, it was amazing. My vote has to go to Mr. Justice this time, once again.
Mr. Sparling, I like the shindig that you're at. I like it. I like the piano in the back.
You know, I'm going to call Alfred in a second, but, you know, he's busy.
I had a friend could debate with me that it's Alfred, not Alfred. Allfred. Alfred.
That's how a lot of people. A lot of people pronounce it like that, like cheese curd, Alfred, you know.
I had a friend, I dated her actually. We were friends first. She got mad that I pronounced her name as Caroline the first 4 dates and not Carolyn. But it wasn't by me. It wasn't purposeful. It's just a slip of the tongue sometimes. So I guess we've had practice to get offended by everything these days, right? We've had a lot of practice as a society. Jamie, I appreciate you, of course, and your viewpoints, my friend. All right, guys, we're going to bring in Giselle. We're going to bring in Howard and see who they vote for and why. I do have to ask Marcus, Bryant, and David here a question. A little moment of levity. Why do we say heads up when we actually duck? I don't know. There's no punchline. I have no idea. I want to know.
Because you don't want to get hit. You moving out the way, but telling everybody else that the ball's coming.
Why do we park in a driveway and drive on a parkway?
That's for the other guys. I answer mine.
Good one, David.
Why do we call it a building when it's already been built? It's been built. Who came up with that?
Maybe it was supposed to be spelled the building.
You need better friends, dog, because I don't know why you sitting around thinking of that dumb stuff.
I'm a writer. That's what I do, David. I'm a writer. That's what writers do. We think about things that don't make any sense. Guys, here's what makes sense. We're having a great night here. There's no doubt about it. We're going to find out, of course, who moves on to round number 3. Hey, guys, this is to the audience, to our viewers. If Carmen Sandiego and Waldo ever got together, would their offspring just be completely invisible? Let us know. Guys, right now, we're going to answer this question as to who moves on to round number 3. You could see they got their game faces on. Right now, we're going to find out who moves to round number 3. All right, guys, let's bring in Howard, see who he votes for and why. Howard Collado, who you got?
Oh my God! Someone said in the comments section. I mean, all 3 of you gentlemen spoke your truth, and which makes this even more difficult to assess. You know, Bryant, you talked about, you know, the reasons, the specific reasons, right? We try to protect our feelings. We try to avoid a beating, a pain, avoid conflict, right? That's why we don't tell the truth. David, you know, you talked about observable truth and breaking it down in that way. And I love the, you know, always be open to changing your truth. That was a really beautiful tidbit. And then Marcus, you came with that rebuttal. And I was like, holy cow. And you just opened up this conversation to something even with more depth. And you talked about, I mean, the truth, you know, I wrote in my notes, the universal truth, maybe, I don't know. And the unrefutable truth. And this was difficult. And I think at the end of it all, it was really the sense of solution that Marcus talked about in terms of dedication, practice, and prayer. and living by that. That wasn't really even needed for the topic, but you added that, and that to me was the determining factor. So, but all three gentlemen, holy cow! Again, just thank you for that.
Appreciate you, Howard Collado. Appreciate you. Appreciate your suit. Appreciate your tie. Appreciate your mohawk. Appreciate you in general. Thank you for being here live, my friend. Howard Collado, guys and gals, giving us a piece of his mind, and as will Giselle right now, guys and gals. Make sure your comments and votes are in the comment section now. We're going to find out in a couple of minutes who moves on to round number 3. We have a lot of fun. We learn a lot, but again, I'm happy to say there's no tournament like this out there ever since. And again, the real reason why we do this is to have these living room style conversations. We can tackle the topics that maybe the talking heads don't want to, but we will, because at the end of the day, there is respect. Mute this and watch this broadcast, and you'll see the respect without even hearing it. That's what you're seeing from Bryant, Marcus, and David. Giselle, who do you vote for and why?
Hello. Mr. McKinney, I love that you broke down the reasons why people lie without explicitly saying those are some of the ways in which we weigh the truth. You gave us those reasons as to why someone might think it could be better to lie in those situations, particularly the fear of consequences or the fear of punishment really speaks to me. No one wants to go through that if they don't have to, even if they don't think they've done something wrong, but somebody else has. So that was great. Mr. Bagwell, you gave several examples. You brought up the 10 Commandments, that it's difficult for people to handle the truth. Exaggeration being a lie. That definitely gave me something to think about. So I'm happy you brought that up. I enjoyed your points about how it takes humility to look deep inside yourself and recognize if you are telling the truth and if you are really, really going inside yourself to see if that's there and why you would exaggerate in a moment or why you would choose to speak something that isn't quite right or that you don't remember. But part of that, maybe not even exaggeration, just might be that memory is tricky and maybe we're not also great at remembering things. But that is a really great point to think about, and I'm glad you brought that up. And Mr. Justice, I love your examples, how different and varied they were, and that really what I love about your argument is that you brought up how our circumstances affect our lives and our perceptions and our biases, both implicit and explicit, and bringing up the situation and the context in which you are speaking to someone. So my vote is going to you once more.
Appreciate that. Maybe if a politician these days would tell one truth, maybe just one, that would be a good place to start. Regardless, guys, it ain't about the popularity. It's about the policy. Know your policies. That's all I got to say about that. But guys, listen, right now, again, we're going to find out. This right now is the crescendo, the 11th hour, the shank of the evening, if you will. We're going to find out who moves on to round number 3. So here we go. I'm going to count your votes now in the comments section. We have a vote. And please vote once. Vote once and only one time. VMAC gets a vote from Diamond Williams. KK Joseph with an LOL. Appreciate those. Love those LOLs. We got more coming in here. We got a vote. Ed, I don't want to pick one. I know how you feel. We got more votes here as I scroll up. Reina votes Team BMAC. Okay, got that vote. Okay, more votes. Chad, I'm going to vote for Marcus. He made the best points and resonated with me on this topic. Well done. All right, guys, round number 3. 2 will advance to that third round. Already we've seen a ton since we started round number 2. Still to come in round number 2, guys and gals and pals. Jesse Ventura. In round number 2, Joe Montana, Lou Ferrigno, many, many others. DJ Solo, oh man, David Justice resonated with me the most. I loved everyone's different perspective on this topic. It's one for David. Okay. Is this a vote? I'm a regular Joe Bryant with everything he has going on in life. Anytime I need anyone to listen and give me advice, it's Bryant. I respect him with everything. Nice comment again. We have another vote for BMAC, and I believe that is from D. Hart, Washington. Okay. More votes, more votes, more votes. Okay, we have a video, guys, for each competitor. David Justice, Marcus Bagwell, and Bryant after this. A quick 60-second video. Bob votes for Marcus. I'm going to ask you guys this question right now while I pull up some more votes for David, Marcus, and Bryant. Did you feel like you had a nice time? Did you feel like the words entertainment and education were able to sort of marry one another tonight? Did you have fun?
Oh yeah. Yeah. This is great. These are great topics, and it's good to be here with the fellas too. You know?
Absolutely. No, I had a great time. Everybody had good views and good stories, and I thought they all I had a blast doing it.
Let's see who goes on to round number 3.
And I like
right now.
I like the mix of the contenders, so it's great.
Yeah, you guys definitely have taught the masses a ton tonight. We appreciate that. We have another vote for BMAC. I see it now. Here we go. There we go. A vote for BMAC. Okay. We have more votes. This is from Sazone 280. My God, this was difficult. I vote Marcus. Talking about irrefutable truth. Okay. We have another vote. This is from Alex voting for BMAC. I did see your vote. Here we go. Now it's official. Can't count all your votes, guys. There's a ton of them. We're on 53 pages. It would take all night to do so, but it is close. It is real close. Okay. Going to count about 5 more. Let's see where we are. Okay, there's another vote. Shania Williams votes for Bryant. Thank you. Appreciate your vote as well. Okay, this is close. KK Joseph also votes for Bryant McKinnie. That's 2 straight for Mr. McKinney. Okay. Love to see the real peeps behind the names. Yes, absolutely. We peel back layers, and you guys are able to see the human being. There's no doubt. We have another vote here. I believe this is from Jamar Williams, votes for Bryant McKinnie. Another one. Okay, this is real close, guys. So if you've not voted, vote now. Robert votes Marcus. Really love the wife analogy. That is from Robert. Okay, guys. I'm going to start counting this down. Camille votes BMAC. That's another BMAC vote. It's another BMAC. Pete votes for Mr. Justice. Thank you, Raina. We appreciate that. I'll try to do my best because these gentlemen deserve my best because they give their best. Steven votes for Buff. John Glowaniak votes for David. I'm going to count this down. April votes for Justice. God, this is close. This is real close. Larry, I vote Marcus. He talked about the residual effects of truth, and that spoke to me. Keyshawn votes for BMAC. Thank you for doing this tonight. I give my vote. Thank you. And if you want to check us out, same channel you guys are on. Every Saturday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we do it live. That's where we thrive. Enjoy hearing responses. Okay, Eric votes for David. So another one for Mr. Justice. This is real insane because it's close. This is real close. Bashment votes for BMAC. Got your vote right now at 10:41 Eastern Time. Thank you. Naomi votes for David Justice. Jeez Louise. Wow. All right, guys. This is insane. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So, okay. Get this. At the buzzer, we had Aaron Organization voting Bryant, Jose voting for Marcus. Guys, let's go on with our top vote getter with 35. David Justice for sure will be in round number 3 of the TKN Celebrity Tournament. Round number 3, he's halfway there to the mountaintop. And of course, guys, there are no losers here. Why? How could there be if we ended up gaining from their knowledge and wisdom? But tied, and this is crazy, there are no ties here in round 2, but we do have a tie. We haven't had one in round 2 since we started. Bryant McKinnie has 20. Marcus Bagwell has 20. It's right here in the private chat. We turned all the votes off. We turned them off. Could not count them all. Could not count them all. I'm going to ask Buff Bagwell and BMAC a question now, and they can decide. It is up to them. Do we have one voter break the tie tonight? Do we do this another time? Not now. Another time with another topic between the two of you? Do we turn it over to the viewers to kind of reset and vote all over again? 3 options. Do the voters vote again? Do we pick one person randomly? Or do we go to Buff Bagwell versus Bryant McKinnie one more time down the road to figure out who goes to round number 3. Marcus, your thoughts?
I'd say we do it now.
Okay.
I mean, it's just I don't want to do this again.
I hear you.
You know, brother. Man, let's just do it. I mean, however Bryant would want to do it, but I think we should do it tonight. Whatever we do.
Bryant, your thoughts?
I don't mind a hit up.
Hey, 4th and 1. It's 4th and 1.
Let's
dog.
flip a coin, bro. Let's flip a coin.
Marcus, how no, we're gonna get one vote. Marcus, what would it mean to you, my friend? We talk a lot as well. We communicate to be in the 3rd round of this tournament.
It would mean I get to take my girl to Greece for 5 days and $15,000.
That's the truth. There you go. Guys and gals, I hear that. Brian, what would it mean to you to win this tournament, my friend?
I'm just super competitive, and I'll just be like to give my best effort out here and win. So it's like I don't want to go down without a fight. So I'm gonna stand in this paint. And everybody underestimated earlier and act like it was gonna be a blowout. And I was in here fighting.
Yes.
Right. Like, come on.
I'll tell you, man, I'm sweating here. I never take this thing off, but I'm sweating. I'm ready to go right now. Screw this. So here's what we're going to do right now. The hell with this. We're going to have our 3 judges vote between Bryant and Mr. Bagwell. And if there's a tie, we're going to tie break. No. Our judges are going to make their point. No, they're going to make their points quick. There's no bias. There's no bias with our judges. No bias. We're going to bring in Jamie, Howard, and Giselle. They're going to vote in case one of them vote for Bryant and the other votes for Buff. There'll be a tiebreaker. Jamie, you'll be the tiebreaker if we go to a tiebreaker, Jamie. You'll be the tiebreaker. Starting with Howard. Howard, who do you vote for and why? I think we can agree on that, our judges. Go ahead.
Oh, my God.
No pressure, Howard.
Holy no pressure, man. Jesus Christ. Look, I'm going to break it down this way. Because all 3 of you were such made such strong arguments, to me, it always comes down to who made the most, and or who brought another depth, another layer to it, right? That I didn't even think about, right? The question was, again, I don't want to be too long-winded. Why is it difficult for human beings to measure the weight of truth? Bryant, you gave awesome examples. You gave very specific examples. Marcus, you gave very specific examples as well. But again, the solution, right, that I think as human beings we need is something that Marcus provided, and that's what resonated with me.
So when we discussed the Army, I brought a whole nother solution of the veterans and things like that.
Yeah.
So what are you saying?
He just voted for you, dog.
No, I voted for Marcus.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I voted for Marcus. No, and that was a great point. No, that was a great point.
Shut up, David.
But your point you made about what Marcus did, I did the same.
Shut up, David.
My bad.
There you go. Not speaking the truth, Justice.
Howard, do you want to? I mean, listen, Brian's asking you a straight up question, Howard.
That was a great point that you made in terms of the
Hold on a second, Mr. Collado. I just have to say this to Bashment Sessions Magazine. I tried asking them to go head to head. I pitched it to them, but we're going to get a final tiebreaker. Howard,
let me speak for Bryant, because I'm going to speak for Bryant is saying why is he getting judged on just half the question? I mean, the one question, because really this judgment should go over both topics all tonight, and he just gave a thing on the truth one. So I totally agree with Bryant. He's saying, well, what about the first one I did? Yeah. So this guy, which I love him to death, he voted for me, but the truth is he voted over the truth one, not all night long. So that's not a proper answer.
Damn. So, yeah, I voted on just the last topic.
That's true.
Yeah, the last topic.
The point he made for you was I did the same thing in the first question, so that's why I was saying. Like,
I'm sorry, and I apologize because I only took into consideration this last topic.
Right, he was just going off the truth when we didn't. We should have clarified that by both topics. This should have been overall.
So Howard, based on our final topic, based on our second topic, right now, you voted.
Oh, we didn't never say.
The second topic now.
Overall, at this point,
we already voted for our first. We already did that. Howard, who? Again, David Justice in the second topic already received his votes, which propelled him into round 3. We already counted that. Based on this final topic, Bryant McKinnie, Marcus.
Based on the final topic.
Yeah, based on the final topic, right? I'm still going to vote for Marcus.
Now, what? Hold on. What if it was overall?
Overall?
Overall. No, wait. I
Wait,
don't want there to be controversy here. Howard?
Then, I mean, if it was overall, I might have slided with Bryant.
No, Mike. We don't do Mike over here. Who would you vote for, my friend? Would you vote for Bryant or Marcus if this was overall?
Overall?
Yes.
I would have still voted for Marcus.
Okay. Howard Collado, guys. It's
So
not
where did
over
Mike
just
come
yet.
from? He needs to practice the truth. The second practice the truth. Working on the truth. My feelings not gonna be hurt.
Look at this comment here from Allison. Every time Marcus Bagwell is in this tournament, I got to tell you, it's fun, entertaining, and there's always some sort of twist ending. This is incredible here. Guys and gals, Howard Collado here, man of controversy. Let's bring in, Jamie, you're the tiebreaker. Let's bring in Giselle. If she votes for Bryant, it will then go to Jamie, and we'll find out who advances to round 3. Giselle.
Oh, Marcus, thank you so much for bringing that up, because I'm sitting back here going, Howard, why are we not basing this on both? I because this is so difficult. Everyone did a great job overall, but for me, the person who answered topic 2 most completely, taking into account why it's difficult to measure the weight of truth and thinking about what every single one of those words mean and how we get to where we are and how we get to those places where we are weighing the truth, where we are weighing whether it's better to tell the truth or exaggerate or lie or do what we need to do. I have to give it to Bryant McKinnie on this one.
Bryant McKinney's tied with Mr. Marcus Bagwell, guys. It's a tie right now, so we're going to give it over to you want to talk about pressure? Jamie Sparling. And Jamie, we're going to get out of here real soon, my friend. We've had a nice night. It's been a long one. But Jamie, we're going to get out of here really soon. So again, don't shortchange, of course, but speak your mind, because I value you and Howard and Giselle. You guys are there taking notes, and I appreciate you.
Nope. This is over, guys, because he already voted against me. So this is an easy one.
I like the reverse psychology. I like the reverse psychology.
Let me cut through the chase. I vote for Bryant. Fuck, it's over.
Is that it? No, we're not going to count. We're not going to count. Wait a minute, Jamie. Guys and gals, so Jamie said he lost it on black and white. Guys, we're down to just one tiebreaker, okay? So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to count to 10. The first comment I see that votes for either Marcus Buff Bagwell or Bryant B-Mac McKinnie will be the one that propels them into round number 3. I will count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. I'm not looking at the screen. 5.
The last guy.
4. You know my integrity. 3, 2, 1.
Bryant McKinnie.
So, Buff, you got to vote. Are you telling me you don't want the vote, Marcus? You don't want the vote?
Yeah. I mean, I'll take the vote.
Because you just got it.
The last guy should have.
I'm confused right now.
Right?
So Jamie votes Bryant. So Jamie votes Bryant.
David.
The rule.
David.
Rules in the middle.
So listen, hey, this is I thought we'd get another showdown between the two. That's what I thought, but it's okay. It's fine. Look, Jamie voted Bryant.
I love it, but I mean, if we're going by the last guy, David, speak up for me here. If we're going by the last guy judging, then Bryant should move on, right?
Jamie, you voted Bryant McKinnie, am I right?
No, I voted for David.
Oh, he voted for me.
Yeah.
He voted
so you voted for David, not for Bryant. So essentially, your vote still is valid because you didn't pick Bryant or
there you go.
Or
Okay.
Buff Bagwell. Okay, all right.
Gentlemen,
no pressure.
Yeah, no pressure at all. But I mean, if you guys can go neck and neck like this, the pressure for me has got to be nothing. This has been an amazing night. And I'm going to thank both of you. Why are you laughing, Brian?
Because there's always something like that when you go down. It's always something positive, and then you're like, but.
Oh, I was just saying.
They're waiting for the butt. They're waiting for the butt.
There's no but. It was an amazing night. I mean, but somebody's probably going to go home, right? That's the rub.
Even in the comment section, it's back and forth. I'm serious here, Marcus. No joke.
Gentlemen, you should come back. That's my honest
I'm in agreement,
opinion.
man.
My honest opinion. I have never seen this ever happen.
I've never
neck
seen
and
either.
neck, just like this. And I've been doing this
Sudden
video
death overtime.
right
It's
away.
not now because we're 2 hours and 50 minutes. Not
Yeah.
now. I'm saying down the road. It could be a month. It could be 2 months. I'm saying
okay with it.
Yeah, sudden death. Sudden death is what I'm saying.
So you're
Why
okay
not?
with that, Brian?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gentlemen, I think that's the best case scenario here, and I bet the fans agree.
Jamie, you could have solved this if you didn't vote for David Justice. All right, anyway, guys, Jamie Sparling.
Hey, hold on, Avi. Don't be over here trying to taint my waters.
No, my screen was frozen. You didn't hear me right. I'm sorry. I had a tech issue here. Jamie Sparling, guys, we've had a ton of fun. David Justice is in round number 3. Marcus Bagwell, Bryant McKinnie, they're going to do it again to find out who goes to round number 3. Guys, ton of fun. We do appreciate, again, I have to shout them out as well. The studio, you guys know what you're doing and what you're watching. We want to make sure we take this off YouTube, get picked up, get greenlit, so all these luminaries here on screen and everybody else can be a part of something way bigger than even YouTube land. Thank you. We're having a ton of fun. Guys, I'm going to have David Justice depart first. I want to play a video for him. Then I want to play a video for Marcus and Bryant. It's about 60 seconds. I made it myself. Between Jersey to Queens and seeing my dad, I wanted to give these guys the tribute that they deserve. So I always say the sweat is the sweet. I love the work. The work is what it's all about. Anything you'd guys like to say to each other before I play Mr.
Hey,
Justice?
fellas, good to see you guys, man. Good luck in that one-on-one battle.
Woo, head to head.
Thanks, David.
All right, good to see you guys. Happy holidays,
You too, brother.
Marcus,
See you
hang out in
later.
the back for a sec with Brian. Please hang out for one more minute, my friend. I appreciate you guys. David, this is from me to you. This is sort of a trip down memory lane. I hope you enjoyed this video. And, of course, congrats to you, my friend, for being in round number 3.
Thank you.
Family's what it's all about, guys. I say this publicly. I respect you. I appreciate you as a friend, and I want our viewers to know again, guys, Finding Tony is a great, great film. I want people to just take a deep dive into Finding Tony. It's something that's near and dear to your heart. I'm going to promote this all week long because it's worth talking about. David, really briefly, can you tell everyone about Finding Tony?
Oh, it's a great movie on the streaming services right now. It stars my daughter, Raquel Justice. You can find her at Raquel Justice 01 on Instagram. But she's 20 years old. It's my baby, my daughter. And, her goal was to be an actress. And she's been doing it since she was 12. And I'm just really proud. We're really proud of her. She's a hard worker. She's professional. She's a great young lady. And I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to shout out my daughter, man. I really do. She's a wonderful girl, man. So and the movie is different than any other movie. I mean, it really is different. So I would ask everyone to go check it out. You'll really enjoy it. And just think, that's my daughter on there.
There you go. David Justice, guys, Finding Tony. I'm going to talk more about it in depth all week long as well. Hey, you're in round number 3, in it to win it. There's no doubt. You had some fun tonight, my friend.
Absolutely, brother. This was great, man. Until next time, brother, I'll see you.
Have a good night, my friend.
All right. See you, man.
David Justice, guys and gals. He's a class act. I'm going to bring another class act, Mr. Marcus Buff Bagwell, who, again, Marcus, it was getting tight between you and Bryant McKinnie. Man, oh, man, I loved your humility, but since day one, you've told me that it doesn't matter if it's a Hall of Famer. You're here to learn. You're here to grow. We always do that. But at the end of the day, you are a fierce competitor. You want to win. There's nothing wrong with saying we want to win.
No, nothing at all. I'm a winner, and I've always been a winner. So the only way you can win is you have got to try to win, and I am trying to win this thing.
There's no doubt about it, and I see it. I want the viewers to know that, guys and gals. Again, Marcus Bagwell, a winner at life, a winner at life. I don't know too many people who could put it out there and be as blunt as he is, and I respect him for that, especially when you consider the entertainment industry that we both know very well. Not commonplace, but he is very, very honest and forthright. This is for you, my friend. I hope you enjoy. Kind of a trip down memory lane for you, my friend.
Okay. He stays.
Perseverance, guys. Actor, pro wrestler, public speaker, Great Del Wilkes. Day of the Warrior, if I'm not mistaken. God bless.
Wow.
You matter, brother.
Wow. Mean Gene. Weird Harold. Rowdy Roddy Piper.
Cauliflower Outlet Club, I believe.
Yes, sir. Me and Bennett and Stacy.
Man, I hope you enjoy that, my friend, because you touch a lot of lives, man. You really do.
That was powerful. That was powerful, man. Great.
I am looking forward down the road again, once round 2, once I get my head above water, to bring back the Return of the Stuff, because that's a really inspirational podcast you and I have, my friend.
Yeah, please. I love it.
Marcus, are you looking forward to this one-on-one showdown with Bryant McKinnie to see who moves on officially to round number 3?
I am. I'm fired up. Let's do it.
I love it. My friend, you have a great rest of the evening.
Thank you, my brother.
Have a great night. Marcus Bagwell, guys, and Bryant McKinnie. Bryant, again, I'll ask you this question, I guess, first rather than last. You said you were ready to go for that one-on-one anyway, and you got it. You kind of chomping at the bit a bit, man. We're not going to announce the date. We'll figure it out. But that's something you're looking forward to?
I am. I watched all these videos of me being eliminated tonight, and I'm a hurricane. I'm not going to go out without a fight.
No doubt. Man, and I love the support back there as well. I could see people are voting because you resonate with them. And, you know, a little video from me to you, my friend, to say thank you for who you are.
I appreciate it.
About, guys, and to give back. Man, my friend, thank you again. Love your passion. Love your will. You have a nice time tonight?
Yes, I did. It was fun. I got really into it, and my competitive juices got flowing. So, yeah, I had a great time.
And I want to talk next time you're on here about the Emmy. People need to know about the Emmys.
Yes. No, Grammys.
The Grammys, excuse me. Grammys,
yeah,
yes. Yeah, I definitely want to talk some music with you and chop it up, man. Man, thank you so much for being here, my friend. I hope you have a great rest of the weekend.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Guys, we're going to depart in a moment, but you have to know first that this is where you can find us every Saturday. So next week, 3 other celebrities, maybe 4, all involved in this tournament in their second round matchup. The only way you can find out who's facing who is at the end of the outro I'm about to play in about 5 minutes. At the end of the outro, you can find out who's facing who next Saturday night, live right here on this channel. By checking out our outro at the end of the video, you'll find out who's facing who. But first, I need a swig of water. Let's bring in Jamie, Howard, and Giselle.
What a night. Oh, my goodness. Oh, I just couldn't break a tie. I couldn't. I didn't have it in me.
I am totally fine with this decision because we get to see more of both of them and we have more tournament to look forward to. So this is not a problem for me. Although I think when they next meet, I will be biting my nails the entire time.
Yeah, I don't want to judge next time. No, wherever service is needed, I'll be there. But I did not get a chance to say this, but his rebuttal was really it really opened up the conversation. I had forgotten to mention that. That was also why. But no, all 3 gentlemen just brought heart, passion, soul to this arena. And I think we are the benefactors of that, definitely.
I agree. And I mean, Bryant McKinnie got so many votes.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I've never seen anybody with, when the judges are leaning one way with 5 points, right, to catch up with the voters like it is this man. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. And I was so torn, guys. Howard, I was so torn. Giselle, I was so torn, right?
I know.
Because I want to go to Greece.
Well, we all want to go to Greece.
There you go.
Somebody's got to go home sometimes, right?
Yeah.
So that was the whole thing,
But yeah, I mean, and I'll say this: Bryant, he kept it simple, and he was very specific with his answers, his 4-point answers. But the minute Marcus just opened that rebuttal, I'm like, oh, where's this gonna go? I'm now with you for this ride. What I mean?
I'll tell you guys where this show is going to go. It's going to go to the outro. Right now, I'm going to play the outro, and you're going to see Jamie, Giselle, Howard, They're going to find out for the first time who is facing who next Saturday. This isn't a one-off. It's not a one-time thing. The celebrity tournament keeps going on and on and on and on every Saturday night, live, 8 p.m. Eastern time on this YouTube channel. Check it out. Bring in your friends. That's how you can help us grow even more than we already have in 10 short months. Please, guys and gals, mark it on your calendar. Next Saturday night, which luminaries, which celebrities will be appearing live in their second round matchup? Remember, you have to win round number 1 to get here. Which second round matchup do we have live for you to enjoy? Watch this outro, and at the very end of it, it's about 5 minutes, you will find out who will be facing who next Saturday night.
Obsession's gonna be talent every time. You got all the talent in the world, but are you obsessed? Is it all you ever think about?
None of us are perfect, right? And we're always trying to look for improvement. So I think that never ends.
Obviously, some stuff's out of my control and I gotta, let things just flow and have a great time, which I will. But other than that, I'm not nervous.
So I would love to hang out with Richard Pryor, but I probably wouldn't do what Richard does.
But he come to me, he'd be like, I'm T.I. Red. I said, well, T.I. Red? Yeah, tired, can't practice a day.
And I really need to get back into the groove because I really enjoy skating. Well, mixed emotions. But I just kept my eye on the prize. I felt strong about the fight.
Every time I get to do this, it just reminds me of the amazing company that I'm in.
And we formed a company called Bigger Easy Entertainment and got the movie made, man.
But to be able to remake it with Michael Jordan, it would be so realistic.
I can't imagine anybody that wouldn't love to walk in a store somewhere and say, oh my God, there's my shoe on the wall.
We've seen so much over our lifetime. We've accomplished a lot.
With young people all the time, I dare them to accept challenges to be great and to dream dreams.
There is no unknown because you're just existing in this moment.
We can stretch time by taking moments, by finding silence, and to sit in that silence and be grateful.
You have put together the ultimate gathering of minds and passion.
To the old performers and the Luthezes and people that's heart and soul were just, in this industry. So.
His teammate happened to be my high school basketball coach, and he was telling me stories about a guy by the name of Sherman White.
They really don't believe that another team can beat them with one of their star players out.
Had a lot of dissension in the Army itself,
And I think that was because a lot of those people were not choosing to be there. Just tape another movie. Like, all he needs is any more publicity. The guy's on everything.
More about myself and other human beings and have a good time while doing it. Everybody wins, but I'm not here to lose.
That would be a trivial answer because JFK would have done so much more for this country.
And when I went off the curb, I nearly cut the power to the entire show. I was like they told me I was like a quarter inch away from cutting power to the entire show. Give me that sense of innocence back that I didn't remember or couldn't even remember what that was like.
But I'm very excited. Very excited to be back in Louisville. I lived here a couple of years when I was in OVW.
The smoothest, he's got the craziest shot ever, but it's money.
He's like classic sort of 70s revenge flick.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool actually. Really good script.
You know, you think about those front people, it's like, wow, we were fortunate. We've been fortunate.
We got off HBO. And when we went to put it on, we had to clear all the music rights. And I used a lot of music.
It's the guy who's willing to die who's going to win that itch. And I know if I'm going to have any life anymore. You got to look at the guy next to you. Look into his eyes. Now, I think you're going to see a guy who will go that inch with you.
You know what? Maybe one of the world's problems will get solved by listening to this show.
I'm gonna win this whole thing. Watch.
I know you are, Tom. I know you are.
Woo!